and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. Can't speak, and for everybody in the chat who said, am I having technical difficulties? Am I having issues? No, I'm not. We were just all having a nice chat because we're really excited about the Football Content Awards. I could lie to you, but I'm not going to lie because I'm very honest. We're just excited. So sorry to keep you waiting.
Uncle Vic's talking about how much is going to be breakdancing.
Yeah, he's doing a worm.
I'll be
that
broken.
was his signature move, the worm.
Yeah. I'll be broke after doshing out for this living thing next week, that's for sure.
I love it. But of course, I could not do this alone. So I brought some pals with me. Anne, how are you? And how's your week been?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, fine. I'm just the vision of Nick doing the worms just not going to leave that. Yeah, but I'm really good, thank you. Had a decent enough week, got my flu jab. So, hopefully don't get the flu. Apart from that, being hunky-dory. How are you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm really, really good, thank you. I'll get onto it later. Obviously, I'm very happy. Might have been a different story, but no. But I will get onto it a little bit later. Jen, how are you? Are we happy?
Yes, we are happy. We got back-to-back wins, so we're doing all right. We won't count the Bristol Street Mowers because we lost, but yeah.
I've not done a graphic to them, so don't worry. Doesn't exist.
It's fine. But yeah, otherwise I'm doing good. Back-to-back wins. We've got Port Vale at home, but we have got a protest on Saturday, which I'll go into more when we talk League Two. But we have a protest going on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to being a part of. But other than that, I'm all good.
Good to hear. Ben, how are you and how's your week been?
I'm okay. Yeah, it's been a bit of a long week. I think I've started to think now I should have got the flu jab as well along with that because I've been feeling a bit rough again this week. So not a sensible decision. And then, it didn't help with a 500-mile round trip to Torquay on Tuesday night. So we're still a bit sleep deprived at this moment in time. But other than that, we're okay. We're still living the dream.
Ben, you're the only person, right, who's met Neil Warnock and then 2 days later went, right, good.
Just actually pull it off, like, yeah, nothing.
I only got him for about 20 seconds, so if he was in a rush to meet the manager, he was. But no, thank you to Neil for taking the time to have a photo of me. That was much appreciated. Absolutely love that man, trust me.
Love that. Claire, I feel like I've not seen you for ages. How are you and how's your week been? And are you in the Christmas spirit?
I mean, I always peak a bit too soon, really, in this house with my Christmas decorations.
Never too soon.
And I'd like to apologise to absolutely nobody because I love it. So people like Aunt who are telling me it's too soon. No, I'm really good. Obviously, I had a really, really nice weekend in Germany. And my team smashed it at the weekend. So what more could you want?
Uncle Nick, I mean, you're not doing a worm tonight. Disappointing. But how are you and how's your week been?
Week's been good. No major dramas. So, yeah, as long as I don't talk football, life's good. Life's fine. I'm not worried about where we are in the league. I don't care. It's going to be fine. Oh, God. Maybe not. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Been doing a bit of archery as well, so that's all good. So my new hobby. So yeah, all's good.
Are you good at it, Nick?
No,
you'll find out on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm consistently inconsistent. Put it like that. I've only done 6 sessions, so I'm pretty new to it. So getting better each week.
Have you hit the yellow bit yet?
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah. Won't tell you how many times, but yeah, of course I have.
Never in doubt.
Look forward to next week when we do the William Tell in the hotel room.
That's it, yeah.
My head, Nick.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to trust me doing that's for sure.
And of course, it's not just us. We have a lot of people in the chat, and thank you updates. It's giving me anxiety scrolling through them, but thank you. But we have Luke. He's put, I'll read everyone. Skip the National League, please. And I had a great birthday as well, at least to save my weekend. Oh, I'm so glad you had a good birthday, but no, we are not National League. Not anyway. We've got Glenn as well. He's put evening all. We've obviously got Chris. Glenn has put still no idea who next Coventry manager will be. Sean has put good evening. Hope you're all doing well. The injury curse has struck again at Sixfields, meaning the A&E department are having to borrow beds. Oh, not good. They're just talking about our technical issues. What were non-existent? Can't even blame a laptop. We have got as well. Evening. Finally get to see one live. Hello, hope you're okay. Chris is laughing about the worm. Paul has put as well. Evening all. Dropping in with Coventry rumour for you all. And he is poor. Just seen someone claim, unironically, Ruvan Nistelrooy is the next Coventry manager.
What?
Surely not.
There's got to be lamps all day long, isn't it?
Surely not.
We've got someone in the chat as well. Joe has put, I'd really appreciate it if you could give a shout out for my book of football, Poetry Football Poetic License, available at Foyles Online. What's lyrical about the FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, my late and wonderful mum and dad. There's a warm eulogy to my lovely dad, Grandpa, Jack, Summer, Thomas Hardy, international friendlies, World Cup, England, USA, Euro 2020, Europa League, the Carabao Cup, football grounds, and is it Ilford? Ilford FC, my local team growing up. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for coming and sharing that, and I hope that was okay. We have in the chat as well. Dietrich, she's put evening all. Hope you're all well today. We hope you're okay too. And Sixth Lord, is it Sixth Lord work? No, that would be an insane appointment. Think Frank Lampard though, and think he'll do a great job. I mean, do we think that rumour could happen, Ruvan Nistelrooy?
No.
He's probably coming down in the betting. Like I've just checked online there, and he's like 3-1. But Lampard's still the favourite, 5-4. So. And then Lee Carsley, who I actually think it'll be, Lee Carsley's 2-1.
But Lurg is fine. That's what I will call you from now on.
Lurg.
Lurg.
He's got the Lurg.
Lucas, but David Unsworth is free. Do you know what? That's all I heard this week when everyone was saying about Jim McNulty leaving. Dave Unsworth is free. I'm like, no. But yeah, we will start with the championship. Anne, do you want to get us started first?
Yeah, we will. If you want. Game of two halves, to be honest. We were mint first half, just not as good second half. And to be honest, let's Coventry back in the game. I don't think Coventry played well at all, but we just for some reason the second half decided not to show up. Two fantastic goals from us. Wilson, Isidore with his 5th goal of the season with a lovely little it was like a chipped little half volley over the top of the goalkeeper. And then Dennis Serkin scoring one of the best scores I've ever seen at the stadium of light. Just taking the ball from the halfway line, just running all the way through, smashing it past the goalkeeper. That's from a left back, just unbelievable. And then, like I say, second half we've just completely gone off the boil. And like I say, I still can't explain why. We let them back in it. Hadji Wright scored. I think it's a very easy goal for them. We've not defended it properly. They've went and scored, and that's automatically put the pressure on us. We've had a couple of lads go off injured. Alan Brown's possibly broke his leg, so he's going to be out for a while. Romain Mundell, Dietrich's favourite, he's twanged his hamstring, so he's going to be out for a while. And then we kind of I think we've made the wrong subs. We went to 3 at the back. I've 3 centre halves and stuff, and it just didn't work. It brought pressure on, and eventually Coventry scored again. It's a nice goal, don't get us wrong. Jack Radoni's took it well, but we've just sat back, and then the sucker punch has happened, to be honest. And it was definitely 2 points dropped after a week where I thought the 2 draws during the week, even though there were teams near the bottom of the league, were 2 good draws. That one on Saturday wasn't. We should have won the game. It should have been out of sight. The first half performance was excellent. And the ball there is now, because there's another, like Sheffield won, Leeds won, I think Burnley won. It's brought them right back on us now. I mean, we're still top. I think it's the last time I'm going to see who's top of the league, who's top of the championship, I think, for a little while, because we've got Millwall next, and that's going to be a very difficult game, especially down there. And I think we've got West Brom at home, so, it's difficult, but just got to improve. And it's probably the first time, I think, I could say that, like, Reggie's, the manager's got his subs wrong. Normally gets them back on. I think he got them wrong on Saturday. And, yeah, I said last week, though, didn't I? Said, obviously, they've sacked Robbins. Our manager got manager of the month, so that kind of happens where we normally lose the next game. We haven't lost, but we've drew. But we should have won, and it's 2 points dropped, and I was a little bit disappointed, should I say?
Still smiling though?
Just, yes.
Just.
The lasses won on Sunday, so I'm over the moon for them. But I said on the podcast last night, I just can't have a week where both teams are mint. Like, one's good and one's crap, and then they just take turns. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But, we're still top. We're still 8 games unbeaten. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, should you be happy? But when we're also 3 games without a win, so we drew our last 3. So it's like, it's a mini blip, I think. I wouldn't call it like a proper blip, but just a mini blip, and we've just got to get back on it. But the problem is, obviously, we're playing Millwall next. We've got the 2 I mentioned definitely aren't injured. Job's still got 1 game left of his suspension, and then Trey Hugh and Patrick Roberts are both suspended for that game. So we're literally down to bare bones. So there's going to have to be a few changes, and probably young'uns coming in and all that. And it's not a game at Millwall away to go down to where you're playing kids who haven't played or played minimal games and stuff. So see what happens. I'll take a point now, to be honest. But never mind. I'm still happy.
Just before we move on as well, have we got an Ants rant this week? Go on. Can be about anything. Not even about football.
Anything. About anything. Like, anything in the world.
Anything.
Fucking putting your Christmas decks up.
There we go.
November the 14th. Honestly, it's daft.
Fuck off.
I can understand Claire doing it, right? Because Claire's got a 2-year-old kid. But, like, is she 2 or 3? 2.
I mean, to be honest, I would have done it anyway. So, I mean, it was nice when she went, "What's that?"
Yeah.
I like Christmas tree.
Oh, stop. That's cute. That's cute.
But do you know what? I'm countering Ant's rant with a Claire's rant, even though I am sick of people telling me it's too early to put your Christmas tree up. This world is full of shite. There's shit going on all over the world, right? It's a miserable place to be. You know what? Live and let live. If someone wants to put the tree up because it makes them happy, then that's their prerogative. People that are moaning about it being too early, they're what needs to shut up.
Ben, Ant. Mentioning no names. Ben, Ant.
Do you remember?
Too early.
Nick.
Red
Uncle
card.
Nick as well.
Red card.
Do you remember, Law, like back in the day when we were like, because we're all, I say roughly the same age, we're not like I'm the oldest, second oldest after Nick, but like, back in the day, I always remember my mum was like an old wife still, that it was bad luck to sing about Christmas, to watch like stuff about Christmas, to do anything about Christmas before December the 1st. Now, you kind of like Tesco's has had the sweets in since July. You know what I mean? Right at the front as well. They keep on sitting, and this is the best thing about Tesco's. Because I went to the manager once. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing there? Like, it's far too early." "Oh no, it's for the kids going back to school." They're like, "No, it bloody isn't. It's for Christmas." At least like freaking, like be honest about it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got no.
My big profit has just gone poof. Do you know what? I don't care what you think. If I want my tree up, my tree is going up. And that's to all of you. Kyle as well. You can all kiss my fat backside.
She's got a tree off and she's gone for the day. Like, she's happy and content now. That's it.
Love you all.
The Halloween decks only came down last week. The Christmas decks are up this week. You know what I mean? I've got a rant anyway. I have got a rant. This is not against Claire, and this is a rant now. People who do fireworks and all that stuff on before November the 5th, right? And I think personally, and when I come to power, this is going to be the one thing I'll put into place. Anyone who doesn't go to a firework demonstration or stuff that are properly properly organised should not be allowed to buy normal fireworks. And stop setting them off above my fucking house at 2 o'clock in the morning when I've got a scared dog.
Yes, you preach.
Like Edinburgh Zoo put out today that due to stress, a baby red panda died.
Yeah, it was only 3 months old, and it
fireworks.
Like my dog. I was going to.
I know we think about our dogs and cats and stuff, but you've got to think about all the zoo animals as well.
Yeah.
Really.
I was was it last week? But my dog was absolutely like not even just shaking when he was breathing. He was making like.
I'm actually feeling up.
And do you know what? It's not fair. I think fireworks should not be for general sale.
I got one thrown at me at work, like last Saturday. I think it was last Saturday or Saturday before.
Wow.
Someone like a 14-year-old kid threw a fucking firework at us. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I'm just gonna cheer the place up with something, especially for Jen's beautiful fiance.
Listen, he's just a Grinch. Just leave him alone. To be fair, I was in work today and the Christmas songs were on the radio, so it's Christmas.
I'm just waiting for that copyright strike.
Yeah, but we get it for the tune anyway, so.
Even Luke's a Grinch when it comes to Christmas. I had hope for you, Luke.
Come on, Luke. You're a kid. You're meant to be like
that.
I agree. Everyone hates it. I don't like it, but I don't care.
Yeah, copyright strike. We might as well not do the pod now because we're going to be done for copyright.
Lose all of our 1,000 subscribers now. Well done, Claire.
I know. But yeah, we best talk football in the Championship.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
I forgot what we were
talking about. And I know you've mentioned a Sunderland game, but is there any standouts on here for you or any you do want to mention?
Probably, and I hate to say it, Sharp, but probably 5-1 Luton. I expect, to be honest, considering we've got an international break now and Luton just aren't picking up at all, I expected Rob Edwards to be sacked this week. And he hasn't. He's hanging on. He's got to be hanging on by a thread, though. I mean, that's Borough a good side, don't get us wrong, but that's a bad result for them, isn't it? And they are struggling. They're down the bottom of the league. I think they're in the bottom 3. You've seen the likes of Portsmouth, QPR picking up results. I know QPR got beat off Leeds, but they are picking up results. They're going to be slap bang in a relegation battle if they don't pick anything up by Christmas. You've got to be thinking now, we're in November now. The league table actually starts to count, you know what I mean? And I know we've been talking crap the last few weeks regarding Sunderland being top and this, that and the other, but the league table's starting to take shape now, and Luton are really struggling down the bottom there. You can include the likes of Preston in that as well, but you've got to worry for Luton, and that's a big result. And it's probably sorted Michael Carrick out for a few more weeks as well, because they're starting to hit top form as well. So yeah, not a result I wanted to see, to be honest, but it is what it is. Great result though.
Makes me sad.
I don't think he's got long left there. Like, I've got to be honest.
No. Definitely not.
Fans were booing him as well, I think, after the game as well. I think a few clips on Twitter. So, yeah, I don't think if he doesn't get a result this weekend, I can see him getting the job, to be honest.
I actually saw a tweet from a Luton fan, saying that the only reason they think that he's still in a job is because of how he dealt with the Tom Lockyer situation.
Yeah, and it's probably not fair. I'm not going to say not fair. It's probably like they've got they've hardly got any fit defenders. You know, at the minute, they're all like, I think there's a few of them playing out of position and stuff like that. But we keep on like picking up like the odd draw or the odd win, and then you're thinking, right, they're going to turn it around. And when they played us, I thought they were excellent, and we had to be very, very good to beat them. And since then, I don't think they've won a game. Or they picked up a one draw or something. You thought, oh, this is when they're going to turn it around. They just haven't done it.
Yeah. But fans need to think a bit, because obviously a couple of seasons ago he was the best thing since sliced bread. Like, fans have got very short memories, and all I'd say is be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
It was only last season they were saying that, Uncle Nick.
Sorry?
Yeah.
What it? Last season.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, fans are very, very fickle, and they're great when everything's going well. But all of us who've supported clubs that are struggling, just be careful what you wish for. We've all been through it, and sack a manager and you might have a little bounce, but it doesn't usually get that much better.
Yeah,
as some of their teams are showing.
They've had it amazing the last 5 years. They have, like, you know, where they come from, or even to the last 10 years, they've come from non-league, you know, to playing against some of the best sides in world football. Like, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, everyone has their dips and that sort of thing, but I think I'm agree with you now. I think he's got to be careful what you wish for, because do they go through that managerial merry-go-round again? That's the thing, because Rob Edwards has just got a bit of stability there at Luton, and you know, if anyone's going to get him out of that situation, I do think it'll be him. I know results don't show that, but you know, he will. I would think he would find a way. That's the thing, but it is hard to say. The trouble is, it is a results business at the end of the day, and you know, we showed that obviously last week. Mark Robins, no manager is safe in football. Doesn't matter how well you've done.
It's the one thing I think that's keeping him like there is you can tell he's not lost the players. You know, like the players are still there for him 110%. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that I think the fact that they've got this new stadium coming out there, they've got a new stadium coming around the corner. They can't afford to do the double drop because it's difficult. You know, like we've done it. It took us 4 years to get back, and that League One is starting to get so competitive. And you look at like next year in League One, where you know the likes of Stockport, you think they'll probably make that jump to try and get up. Then you know the teams who stay down, you're looking to see if Wrexham don't go up. Wrexham will be massive favourites. Do they take a risk now where there is a couple of managers who could possibly be available and say, right, we've tried, we've failed, this, that, and the other, we'll let him go? Or do they put up with him and then say February, March, it's got no better? It's probably too late to sack him then, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's difficult, I think. It is difficult. I would say give him till Christmas. And then, because the manager who comes in now is not going to change it massively anyway, because they've got no transfer window or anything. Maybe give it till Christmas, see if it can turn it around. But if they're still in the bottom three by Christmas, I think they'll probably do the jump, I think. And the problem is, I think we're all saying it, we're all massive Rob Edwards fans. He's done a hell of a job. And as Claire said before, when Tom Lockyer went down and, horrible thing have happened, he, really kind of, got the club back on side, and they nearly stayed up, you know what I mean? They did tail off, didn't they? But the fact they did so well last season, and the fact that they've probably still got the same bunch of players, it makes us worry that what's happened, they've still got a little bit of are the players not still got that stuff of what actually happened to Tom Lockyer, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
Oh, poor Rob.
Yeah,
it makes me sad. I feel like this podcast is going downhill now. We need someone to cheer us up. And you know what?
Dan's in the chat.
Look, Dan's in the chat. Come to Dan. So Dan has put, I'm going to read out. Burnley 1, Swansea City 0. Burnley review. Scott Parker is a nice guy. Started well, but week by week, our creativity is being sucked out of the squad. Left the win late, but the football is bad to watch. Gone backwards.
Does it really matter if you play shit football if you're winning matches, though?
Yeah, I'll take shit ball and win matches right now, to be honest.
I'll be dead on it. When we've got promoted, sometimes you scrape the wins, and those are the ones that make a good team. So personally, I couldn't give two hoots what style of football we play if we're winning.
The problem is with Burnley is the apart from that one, I think that was the first win in 5. I want to say, I might be wrong, Dan. And they're not playing well and not winning. You know, that was a last minute goal as well on Sunday. It was like, I agree what you're saying. I'd rather Sunderland now play badly and win for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? I'd performances, fucking fireworks, bastards. Anyway, it's fucking November the 14th. Anyway,
it's Christmas now.
Honestly, I'm fuming. I've lost my train of thought now. Like I said, if we play badly and win for the rest of the season, we'll get promoted. You know what I mean? But I think with Burnley, there's that much of a pressure to get back up. Then they've had to hit the ground running, and he hasn't. So, and it was in a point where they were like, anyway, weren't they?
Who do I come to next? You know what, Uncle Nick? Any standouts for you on here?
Yeah, I would say probably good draw for Plymouth, who've been struggling. Derby County, first goal was by Jerry Yates, and I wish he was still at our club. We had him on loan, and he is a cracking player.
A cracking player?
Cracking player. And I guess the other one is probably Portsmouth. That's a good win for them. As much as I don't like Portsmouth. So yeah, that's a couple of results from me. Stop giggling away.
It was the way I just went, crappy player.
You know cracking. What? In my defence, I am waiting for a hearing aid. So
pardon?
What?
Pardon?
It's just funny. I just find it really funny. Some of the things that I thought I've heard recently, honestly.
Oh, I love it.
Nick, quick question. You know, you just mentioned Jerry Yates there, because I really like Jerry Yates as well. Didn't you have him on loan from another club in the same division? They were like, oh, he's not good enough, and he got top scorer.
we had him and Owen Doyle, and as a partnership, they were just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Jerry Yates was just top player. Yeah, he should do well wherever he goes. So. Yeah, I mean, he'll never come back to us. He's much too good. But yeah, he is top player.
Jen, any standouts for you?
I'd probably go with Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, just because it was a derby and Sheffield United won. Like, amazing for them. So I'd probably say that one just for the fact that it was a fantastic derby.
Claire?
Do you know what? I was going to pick Portsmouth. Just with the form they're in, it's just such a big win.
Ben, any standouts for you on here?
I mean, I think everyone's probably said it. I mean, I would have said Portsmouth's win, lifted them off the table. So, but that's probably the. I mean, obviously, I would go with Middlesbrough. Any team that thrashes another team is always a big standout, no matter who you're playing. So, but I was just thinking a quick word. I mean, QPR have got to be fearing right now where they're going at the moment on the table. Like, just, that's the southern way of saying it, is it? QPR. I think I'd be fearing right now if I was one of their fans. You know, it's not a good place to be in at all. Think about how far that club has sunk in even just the last 5-6 years. It's, you know, they could well be looking at League One football next year unless something drastically changes there. Because like Anne said, that table is now starting to take shape, and if you get stuck down the bottom, the light here is you're going to be down there for the majority of this season. So we've got to find a way of trying to sort that out very quickly. Otherwise, it could be in for a long season.
Very true.
I agree in the chat as well. A few people have said the Bristol City result against Norwich, obviously considering they were away as well. So I think that's a very good.
Norwich have got a few injuries at the minute as well. That Josh Sargent, who I think is a crackman striker, he's out till the new year. So where's West Brom? West Brom away to Hull's a good result for West Brom, because West Brom literally don't have a fit defender. All the defenders are knackered, and they're knackered for like 6-7 months or something. So that's good for them, and that was their first win in ages as well.
Yeah, what's interesting, Ant, is you said you've drawn your last 3?
Yeah.
Because looking at the results, 2nd to 7th all won.
Yeah.
So you need to get back winning, because that gap's starting to close, and you're just going to get really, really tight, as it does with that league every season.
Exactly, yeah. And that's it. I mean, we're 8 games unbeaten, but the fact that we are, but we're still, joint top now, but Leeds are catching up, Burnley are 4 points. We've still got a bit of a gap. The gap is to Borough, that's 7 points. I think Borough will get in the playoffs, so you're looking at one of Watford or West Brom to drop off. But that gap to still be at 7 points. And I kept saying, keep going to international breaks. And this is the third one we're in now, and we're still top, and I'm still over the moon about that. But the next one is what's going to happen at Christmas. And we are now starting to pick up injuries, pick up suspensions and stuff. Where we're going to be over Christmas is going to be the important one. If we're still top mint, I would probably say we'll get promoted. But if we're 6th, I don't know, we could be as far down, probably 6th or 7th or whatever, then I think maybe playoffs. But we've got to get a January, bring some bodies in and see where we are, I think. But still, no one have had that after 15 games, apart from Gab Sutton. No one would have had that after 15 games. So it's just enjoy it while it lasts. As Claire said a few weeks ago, got to enjoy it, haven't you? It's still got to be, even though we haven't won in 3, I'm still over the moon. There's some massive teams there, and then there's little old Sunderland with a national, average teammate of 21 who were top. So fair play to them,
Love that. So I'm going to ask you, Anne, who is top of the championship?
Yeah, I reckon this is the last week I say it for a little while, but Sunderland are top of the championship, sure.
So Sunderland are top with 31 points. Sheffield United are second, also on 31 points. And then in third, we have Leeds United on 29 points. Burnley are fourth on 27 points. West Brom are fifth on 25 points. And Watford are sixth, also on 25 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Cardiff City, who are 22nd on 15 points. Portsmouth are 23rd on 12 points. And QPR, not her, QPR at the bottom of the championship on 10 points. But how close is that relegation?
Oh, that's so close.
Just above them.
You look at Plymouth, and everyone had Plymouth written off, didn't they, when Rooney went in?
I know.
16 points out after 15 games. You can't really fault them, can you? And the home form's excellent, so I think they'll be all right.
See if it carries on.
I
think they'll struggle.
I think they'll be all right. I think the home form's going to keep them up. I think, providing they can keep hold of Whittaker in January, and they've got a really good left wing called Kisobo, but he's out now until Christmas. So see what the next few games do. But I think he's done a hell of a job so far. My big surprise down there is like Norwich, who were like 18th, so 14th on 18 points. They were a defeat away from potentially being in the bottom 3, and they were everyone's tip this season, weren't they?
Yeah.
Stevie Lee said as well, Preston are down there as well. This made me laugh. And do you know what? It's fitting in quite well because we are going to League One and everyone takes a mick out of how I say Bolton. And Claire, Bolton, you played them, didn't you? How did that go?
So, I mean, nobody expected us to get hammered 5-0 last week against Wickham. And similarly, no one expected us to hammer Bolton 5-0. So it was absolutely wonderful stuff. We had the really nice thing as well. We had 5 different goal scorers. We had Will Collar, Kyle Wotton, Fraser Horsfall, Louis Barry.
You didn't do it right.
Louis Barry.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a podcast version of us all singing it next week and send
100%. 100%.
And then Odin Bailey, he scored our 5th goal. And it was really nice because he's having a new baby. And his celebration was like the...
I hate that. I hate that's another one I hate. God,
Uncle Nick's rant.
He's got one.
One.
I mean,
knee slides. No. No. Cut it out.
Right. Do you know what I'm fuming with? That they get booked for taking the shirt off. Like,
I agree.
Really. Yeah, a bit of naked chest.
I agree with you there.
Mind you, I'm not bothered anymore. It used to be nice when I was about 18. You know, now it's looking at people that are young enough to be my son. So maybe not. But no, it was really nice. And there was a couple of standout goals. Fraser Horsfall's goal, like, ridiculous. Like, he finished it like a striker. And Louis Barry's goal was funny because Bolton were, like, defending. And the keeper had played it out from the back and it had gone to a couple of defenders. And then one defender just let it go right under his foot. And Louis Barry was right behind him and, like, rounded it to get the foot. But I think there's concerns for Bolton, for me, is their defending was absolutely woeful. I know a lot of their fans are calling for Ian Evatt to be sacked, and I can see why. And that's not a new thing. They've been calling for that for ages.
1 minute. Sorry, I've got cramp.
And even though, like, Bolton are, like, right near the playoffs, I think, given the size of the club, the budgeting and the backing that they've got, like, they can't settle for that. They need to be going for automatic. Mm-hmm. And at the moment, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they missed even getting on the playoffs because they look bad. They look like they've gone backwards. Like, that defence was woeful.
Is the big defender still playing for them, Claire? Is it Sanchez? I think his name's... he's, like, massive. He's, like, 6'7". I can't remember his name.
Let's have a look. Santos,
yeah, that's him, yeah. Like when we were in League One, when we had Ross Stewart, when he was mint, and he was like, you know, he just tore defenders to shreds. He was the only one who, like, had him in his pocket dog. Yeah, I thought he'd be, like, well back up there. You know what I mean? Was he hell?
That's a bit hard.
Just for anybody watching this, I said cramp, and I had it in my calf. Cramp, CRAMP, cramp.
So when I looked at it, Bolton were playing with a back five. Now, I always think teams look better with a back four anyway. Certainly, I'll talk about it in a minute. Back four is definitely my preference. A lot of teams seem to be playing back fives, but I always think you're more at risk with a back five because you've got the two that are going forward, basically. I'm really noticing my Mancunian coming out right now because people on this pod are so judgy.
Tell me about it.
And I think the centre back three, what do you call it? A trio.
Trio, yeah.
I
remember them chocolate bars. Trio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were nice.
They were rated between 4.7 and 4.9, all of them, which I suppose is not really surprising when they've done that. But you know what? The goals were like 2 of them were from corners, so it's not even like it was just a freak result. And I mean, 5-0 is always a bit of a freak result, really. I just think, in terms of Louis Barry, a lot of our fans are getting a bit frustrated this season because more and more teams are working out his style of play and, like, managing to mark him out somewhat. I think his stats speak for themselves. He's scored 10 goals already. I
was going to say, he's still banging the goals in, isn't he?
Like, you can't complain about having a natural finisher. But no, I think it's a bit over the top. Because it's obviously his scoring. He's assisted only 1 this season, I think. But I think you just got to be patient. Like, he's scoring them goals. Like, take him out of the team. Who's getting them goals?
You're proper nitpicking if you're complaining about a lad who scored 10 goals already, aren't you?
Exactly. And I've said, like, for me, Louis Barry is someone I want Daisy to look up to because he's someone that is just having fun on a football pitch. He's loving his life playing professional football, living out a dream that so many don't get to live out. I just think he wants to be at our club. He loves our club. And I think he's doing a great job for us.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy because of the growth that we've had to expect us to keep winning all the time. And a lot of people are finding out that that's not really how it works. Like, obviously, everybody loves winning, but it can't always be the way it is.
Let me just have a quick look at something as well. I mean, you're sixth.
Do you know what? Stop the count. I'm buzzing with that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, sixth, and they're still moaning.
Most of 3 years.
So I actually went on Gav Sutton's podcast a bit earlier on, and he said to me, do you think Stockport will get in the top 6? And the other question is, do you think you've got a better chance than you thought you had before the season kicked off? And I said to him, I think the amount of rapid growth, you've got to let the club kind of catch up as well. So I am very happy with us to have a mid-table season, you know, a bit of stability. We've got an inexperienced manager in this league. We're learning. Like, let's just go at a pace, not too fast. Because you can outgrow yourself. You can do things too quickly. And you've got to be careful that that doesn't happen. Like, I'm just happy to be back in League One. And, like, even the fact that we're up there in 6th now, I just think, like, enjoy it.
I love that. I just can't believe people are calling Louis Barry. I'm absolutely fuming. You know how much I love Louis Barry, and I'm not a Stockport fan. Louis Barry. I'm waiting for someone to take the mick out of my Barry now.
Can you
Shauna said, can you teach us how to win, Claire?
No, sorry.
Oh, please, she's on it.
Ben Hinchliffe started on Saturday.
Love that.
And Corey Adai, the one who we got from Crawley, he's finished. He's not finished. He's been dropped. And I actually feel really sorry for him because he's been getting a lot of stick. But at this point, like I said last week, I think he needs to be took out of the team, the starting lineup, for his own well-being.
Yeah.
Because it was just getting a bit nasty and you could tell his confidence was on the floor.
It's hard being a goalkeeper, isn't it? When you know you've made the odd mistake and that.
Yeah.
Just not that, but can you imagine, like, you've got Ben who's been there for, this is his 9th season. Like, you're playing
Sorry, I loved you, Bellingham.
You're playing in place of Ben, who is our number 1. And the first mistake you make, that's going to be picked up because everybody loves Ben so much and he's sitting there on the bench.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, a lot of people think it's very unfair that Ben didn't start the season given what he's done for us. So I think it's a lot to do with that. It's because it's not Ben. Ben's made mistakes, but because it's Ben, he gets away with it. I do think he's the better keeper, though, I must say.
It's nice to see that the second best Bellingham brothers done well for England tonight.
It's all right. The number 1's playing probably tomorrow in the under 21. So.
Yeah, he got first call up, didn't he? Yeah, fair play to him. Like, I'm over the moon for him.
In a chat as well. Do you love to see my bluebird right near the top of that League One table? And he's corrected himself and put Blue Boys.
You just
right. I'm not sure. Please let us know who you support.
Probably Birmingham.
Right near the top.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to have to go and get...
It should be at the top.
I'm going to have to go and get a drink of water because my throat's doing me dirty. So please take over and in any order, whichever like standout results, I will be back in a second.
You've got to call out Peterborough's win there, haven't you? Cambridge were in really good form. They'd won a few in a row after that horrendous start to the season. But 6-1 is a huge result, isn't it?
Massive, yeah. And you're right about Cambridge. You know, they've won the last 3, haven't they? And you look at now with Cambridge losing, Shrewsbury losing, Burton winning, it's opened it right up at the bottom again, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah. And I know it's only a draw, but kudos to Northampton for getting a 96-minute equaliser away at Birmingham.
Yeah.
What a point that is. Our Danny will be very happy with that.
Was everybody celebrating that goal, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Has anyone else got any standouts?
I would have probably gone with Crawley, to be fair, getting 2-2 draw against Huddersfield. I think like it's just, I think they might be slightly disappointed because I think they led the game twice as well, so they might maybe see a 2 points drop. But if you're getting points against teams near, the playoffs and everything like that, that's not bad going. But a bit worried about Charlton at the moment, about where they're slipping down after such a blistering start to the season. They've suddenly slumped in the to the bottom half of the table now, haven't they? So
yeah.
I think Nathan Jones has got a bit of morale boosting to do there, to be honest, in the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, they could easily quite slip down. I mean, they're only 7 points off relegation, albeit they're only 5 points off the playoffs at the moment. It's very easy, like you say, a couple of wins to the bottom teams, and then everyone gets sucked right back in, don't they? So I think it is very open league at the moment after 14, 15 games. So it's really interesting to watch this year.
Have we all seen who Shrewsbury have got as manager now as well?
Yeah.
What a great appointment.
The Rocker.
I think that's a great appointment for him.
I do. I agree. I think he'll keep them up as well. He's such a good League One manager, isn't he? And he's just a genuinely nice person. He's one of them people you just want to go for a pint with, and you'd probably you'd end up in a pint. You'd probably get kicked out with him and start a bar fight and all that stuff.
I suppose you've got to give a few kudos to Burton as well. I know they were playing Shrewsbury. I know they were playing Shrewsbury, and obviously Shrewsbury are rock bottom, but I think I'm right in saying that Burton were rock bottom before that game.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So that's a good win, isn't it?
Yeah, Orient's a good win as well against Blackpool, although Blackpool started quite well, I think, and then they haven't won for quite a few games, lost 4 of the last 6. So, but Orient gets them just above the line, so that is a good win for them. So, in their decent setup there, they got. I wouldn't like to see them get relegated.
I think we've got to look at it as well from probably from both sides of the table. Wickham 1-0 over Wigan. Claire, I put that lad, is that Love in my fantasy football team.
Love?
Was his name Love? Was it Roy? What was his name who scored past us last week? He said he was mint.
Richard Coney.
That's the one. I don't know why I meant Love. I'm thinking Donald Love for some reason.
God.
Richard Coney. I put him in my fantasy team.
Yeah.
And he did nothing in my EFL fantasy teams. I was like, oh, for God's sake. But they are like top of the league, doing really, really well. And Wigan Athletic are really struggling this season. Really struggling. I think a lot of people have them to go up. They're struggling badly. But I think you're looking at the league table as well. How good we'd probably take Crawley out of it, but how good have Stockport, Mansfield, and Wrexham adapted to League One? It's amazing.
Yeah. And let's be honest though, like you can't lie. We've all got money, especially us and Wrexham. We've got a player that dropped from the Premier League, and he can't get a place in the starting lineup. Like, it's not. I don't know. It's not a surprise to me that we're doing well, if I'm being honest.
No, I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed for all three. Well, I'm not really that chuffed for Wrexham, but Mansfield and Stockport.
Love you, man.
It's nice to see, isn't it? It's nice to like break the monotony, isn't it? So, and you got like massive sides. Like it's massive sides for League One. Like Huddersfield who've just come down. Bolton, as everyone said, Bolton were going up, weren't they? And they're struggling. Peterborough, who are always there or thereabouts. Charlton, who. I don't know. They might lose the manager soon, I think, Nathan Jones, because he's not really turned it around, has he? Sure, agree or disagree, I'm not sure, but yeah.
But yeah, the League One table. So top of League One, we have Wycombe Wanderers on 32 points. Birmingham City are second on 30 points. Wrexham are third on 28 points. Barnsley are fourth on 25 points. Lincoln City are fifth on 25 points. Stockport County are sixth on 24 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Crawley Town, who are 21st on 12 points. Cambridge United are 22nd on 10 points. Burton Albion are 23rd on 8 points. And Shrewsbury Town are bottom of League One, also on 8 points.
Who's 10th, Shah? Who's 10th?
Bolton.
Bolton.
Bolton Wanderers. Stevie Lee has put, is ex-Prem Charlton just now stuck in League One forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Graham?
He's not either, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can say what we want. Graham's not here. I'm joking. So, League Two. So, I'm going to let you, Jen, and you, Uncle Nick, have your say about your team. But who wants to go first?
I'll let Uncle Nick go first this week.
We got beat.
Nobody is there.
Your turn now, Jen.
There you go. Plain simple.
No, we were. I think we scored our second fastest ever goal, 16 seconds. I think it was timed at. And I don't. Yeah, I think he got the team slightly wrong. He got the subs wrong. But the only positive I can really take from that game is he would have learned more from that defeat in the league than he did from the 2 cup wins. So he's got all this week to put it right. But I do worry about us getting a result on Saturday. To be honest, I can't see us getting if we get a draw, I'll be happy. So we give away some bad goals. Keepers should have done much better with their equaliser. It was in stoppage time as well. He parried a shot straight to their forward who smashed it into the net. It looked like it was only a little flick. It looked like he could have held it or pushed it around the post. And I know goalkeepers sort of pushed the ball away from the goal, but I think the goalkeeper was partly at fault from that. And yeah, I don't think we created a lot. It's looking a big worry. We're here today that we've overspent our budget, so can't see much happening in January. We're bringing new players in. We've let a player go on a free transfer to get him off the wage bill to York.
I was going to say, was that for defender?
Yeah, King.
Yeah.
In fairness, he hasn't really got any team, and he come back in and struggled. He lost his mum a couple of weeks ago, so he was struggling obviously with that and trying to cope with that. And I think he lives up north, so it's probably a really good move for him back near home. So good luck to the lad. I hope he does well there. So yeah, but I think that's as much as it's probably helped him. So that's good for the club doing that, but it just gets another player off the wage bill. Manager today says that looks like we've overspent our budget, which we're supposed to have an increased budget from the last couple of seasons. So all the things behind the scenes are still as bad as ever. Crowds are down. And so it'd be interesting to see if we don't get a result Saturday, what happens at the next home game. So it's not looking good. I mean, we're third from bottom in League Two, which is a massive worry. Not a lot. I see some fans are saying we'd be better off getting relegated in rebuild, but that's easy to say. Look how long it takes teams to get out of that league.
Yeah.
And if once you start dropping, you can drop like a stone. You got like Scunthorpe are in National League North, aren't they? They've dropped right out. Not so long ago, we were playing them a couple of 3 seasons ago. So, it's a dangerous place that we're in. So, but I say, at the moment, we've got the new manager Bounce, and he's full of enthusiasm. You all know what he's like, the type of stuff he brings. He wants the players fit. He's got. I think they've been hit. They probably haven't. Obviously, the players we've got now weren't at Swindon then, but Di Canio was massive on fitness, and he's got them doing these runs. 10 meters, 20 meters, 40 meters, 60 meters, 100 meters, then do that again, but backwards 100, 60, 40, 20, 10. And he's got them smashing that out. And he said, if they don't make the times, they don't get in the team. So, and that league, if you're fit, you know, that gives you an extra edge. And that's where we've won loads of games in that league in the past. We certainly did with Di Canio, and we certainly did going back when Lou McCorry was manager and stormed through, I think, with record points at the time, winning League Two. And so, yeah, fitness is a big thing. He's got players coming back from injury, players he doesn't really know. And like you say, does he go back 4? Does he go back 3? Does he play wing backs? Does he play full backs? And he's been playing 3 up front, which away didn't work. I don't think you need 3 up front away. At home, yeah, you probably should. So there's lots of things going on. So he's got a big job on his hands. So it's I'm not looking forward to Saturday at all. What are you laughing at?
It's Claire being Claire.
Oh, in our group chat, Uncle Nick. I don't think she meant to put something in our group chat.
I'm not looking at that. So
it's nothing bad. Don't worry. Anyone in the chat as well, it's nothing bad. It just go out of context.
My neighbour just sent me a message on Facebook, and I said, "What's your number?" But I'd opened the WhatsApp chat where Ant was telling us
all of our numbers as well.
I know. Ant was telling us that his dog's scared, and instead of putting it to my neighbour, I put our WhatsApp group. What's your number?
Oh, the poor baby, man. You're so bless them.
So sad.
So that's where we are.
I hope things get better.
Yeah, so do I.
Terrible.
It makes me sad, honestly. It's like even with Morecambe as well, it just makes me sad. Because the last thing you want, obviously, is going into the National League, because I can say from experience, as much as now, it is good because we're winning games and stuff as well. It's so hard to get out of that league because it's so competitive, and the teams in the National League and further beyond do have money as well, don't they? So it's just getting bigger and bigger each time, and it's so difficult. So that's a lot.
Only 2 go up as well, isn't it? So
yeah,
you know, it makes it hard league anyway because not many go up.
Yeah.
No,
I've never understood that, how 4 go up from League 2 and only 2 go down. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, but it's like turkeys voting for Christmas, isn't it? The league won't say we want 3 to go down from League 2. And the clubs ain't going to vote for that, are they?
No.
I don't agree with 3 up, 3 down.
Yes, I do.
I don't.
4 up. Change the leagues every season. 5 up. 1 down.
Everyone goes up.
I know. I think it should just do it to do us.
Yeah.
We're doing all right at the minute. We get to go back up. But then
6
change
up.
it again for the next season to get relegated, because we'll go back down again. Jen, Markham, talk to us.
I swear this team's just gonna like stress me out forever. Like I'm just like done at this point. Like I'm just going into the games now and just not knowing what to expect, because we're either going to lose or we're either going to win, and it's going to be a crazy game. But Saturday was a really good game. They were playing really, really well. Reece Williams obviously scored. So happy for him. He's doing absolutely amazing. And I'm just so glad that he's getting out there and showing who he is. Obviously, being a Liverpool Academy boy, people obviously know who he is. But it's great to see him getting on the score sheet, playing for a great team. And he played fantastic. They all did. Like, they're all seem to be connecting with each other more. We're getting a lot. I think there's only 1 injury now we've got, and he's due back in January. So everyone's like back from injury. The only bad thing that came from that game is Stu Moore did go down with an injury. We think it might be his hip again. So we don't know if he's out for the season yet. Again, I hope not, because he's been fantastic this season and he deserves everything that he's getting. Then they scored, which I was just like, oh, this is not what we need. Everyone else was winning around us, and it felt like if we don't win here, maybe it's over.
Yeah.
But it was a bit like, right, okay, let's just pick ourselves up. We go again. Harry made some incredible saves to say he's had very, very, very few games in goal. Like, cup games is probably the most he's done for us. So for him to come on and do 2 fantastic saves to keep them out from scoring, huge credit to Harry. Amazing. And if he does get the chance to play whilst Stu's injured, then fair play to him, because he is an incredible goalkeeper. And then obviously it was a bit like, it was getting near the end, and I was a bit like, right, okay, we'll settle for a draw if we have to. Like, it's not the end of the world. A point's a point. These points are going to add up. People around us are going to like lose games, all that kind of stuff. And then Harvey McAdam just scored in the 97th minute, and I have never, ever seen limbs like that before. It was just, it felt like Morecambe. Like, that was just us. Like, a last-minute winner, like literally the last dying seconds. And we scored and we won. And I think it was just such a huge sigh of relief, because it was like, right, we've done it. Like, we've done back-to-back wins now in the cup, in the league. Like, we are finally feeling like we're on our way. And in Derek in the post interview as well said, but we're only 5 points off 15th. Like, it's not the be-all and end-all at the minute, even though it does feel like it sometimes. A couple of wins and we're straight back up the league. Like, it's not, I don't think it's anything to worry about right now on the pitch. I think it's more off the pitch. It's still an issue. The Shrimps just keep reaching out to him. He's not giving any updates. He's not replying to any emails. He's not speaking to anyone at the club. He's not communicating with any of the media. It just feels like he's not bothered in the slightest to sell this club. It's now been over 2 years, and we've not had one positive person that actually wants to buy the club. So the fans have taken it into their own hands this weekend and are doing a protest against Port Vale. I just want to give huge credit to the Port Vale fans, because since it's been put out on social media, they have said that they are joining in with the protest on Saturday, which is incredible from them, because they've obviously, I think they did it with Reading as well when he played Reading. They supported Reading. I just have to give huge credit to Port Vale fans, because I just know they will come in numbers and they will support every single one of us. So I think we're planning to release some balloons at the start of the game, and then on the 26th minute, we're going to turn our backs to the pitch for 2 minutes to prove, like, I don't know what we're trying to do, but we're trying to do something that is not going to damage the club, what is getting it out there. And it seems to be working, because they've had a lot of media come and want to speak to the fans and stuff. So I think getting it out there against Port Vale, top of the league, like, they've got our ex-goalkeeper who absolutely loves us. He literally quoted today the protest thing. He quoted it and said he'll be right there behind us. Like, it's one of them where you know that everyone who's played for the club, or like Port Vale fans have seen other clubs suffer, know what it's like. So I think getting this protest done on Saturday is huge for us, and I hope somehow it gets out there and people see it, because it just feels like not just us, Reading, Swindon, it just feels like no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes of these clubs. It's only like the fans that really know. So I think we need to get it out there. We need to get him talking, because the fact that he's giving no one, like, not even speaking to the board, like, I just think it's ridiculous what he's doing. Like, he's killing a club. And
I don't understand why is he doing this? Like,
I think realistically, and I know this sounds awful, but I think he wants us to go into administration because he has so much debt. Yeah. Because if he sells his club, he would still have to pay that debt off, because he's accumulated so much debt. It's like he doesn't want to sell, and it's like, it's annoying, because we as fans love this club and we'll love this club forever, but it's just like, he doesn't talk to anyone. Like, how are we meant to sell this club if you're not talking to anyone? It just frustrates all of us, because I just don't like owners that come in and do this stuff and try and ruin a club that clearly is a family, it's a community, it's everyone's around each other. Like, you all know that Liam's been working with the club at the minute and doing stuff, and everyone's always asking him and going up to him, asking him about, like, the work and stuff. So it's very much a family club, and it's just annoying that this one person is ruining it.
Like, it's an absolute privilege to own a football club. And Jason Whittingham is an unfit, unproper, and fucking shy owner. He needs to do the right thing and fuck off. It's not fair on them fans that are still turning up for that club week in, week out. And they're doing a respectful protest. And if I'm right in saying, Jen, he turned down an offer in the summer to sell the club. So, like, why? Like, even if you say, you know what, you can buy the club, use that money to frigging pay off the debt. Like, the way, if he was to sell the club, like, he's not obligated to pay that debt anymore. The debt is assumed by the new owner. So if that is the case, then fuck off anyway and let the new owner sort it out. Let that new owner flourish that club again. It's not fair.
It's just absolutely devastating for like everyone involved, the fans, the board, the staff. Like, I obviously know the behind the scenes staff very, very well, and they all work incredibly hard. Like, I've never seen people expect so much from like the behind the scenes people, but they literally have at the minute one full-time media person and one volunteer, which is Liam, and they expect so much. And it's like, they're literally only two of them and one of them works a full-time job. So it's like, if Jason left, then maybe they could afford to get more people in the media department or the comms department or get more stuff out on social media. But when there's only two of them at the minute, it's incredibly hard. And I just feel like he's not just ruining the club, but he's ruining the behind the scenes, because we could easily get more stuff out there to show the players and showing what they're doing behind the scenes and stuff and recovery. But we can't do that because we just don't have the funds to pay the staff.
Makes me so angry.
I just want him out. Like, as soon as he's like left the club and we have a stable owner, I think we'll feel a lot more positive. But now it just feels like, are we ever going to be sold? Like, that seems to be it at the minute. Like, is he ever?
He's more than Morgan once he sells that club. it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, 2 years. It's mad.
2 years it's been up for sale, and it seems to be this one owner that he wants to sell with, and this guy cannot pass the fit and proper test. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know, then I don't know what else we're meant to do as fans. We don't want to get to the stage where we're going to have to go on the pitch or we're going to have to throw things on the pitch, because that's not something the club can afford. Like, I think I read, I can't remember which club it was, but one of their club's fans like ran on the pitch and it's a 48 grand fine. We haven't got 48 grand. Like, there's not a chance we'd be able to do that. So doing these peaceful protests is exactly what we need to be doing. And I hope that, obviously, on Saturday with Port Vale, it works and it gets the word out there. Because more than now, I think we need to sell before January, or I think we might lose some of our best players.
The thing is as well, like, he must know, because, like, your captain last season, Farron Rawson, he was so brave in coming out and making a statement while he was still at that club, and you could tell he was clearly really passionate about the whole situation. And you lost a hell of a lot of players who loved that club, but they've got bills to pay. Like, that's also not fair. Like, there's people who, I mean, it's a job that so many people want to do, but those people still have bills to pay. Like, you can't just just fuck off.
Yeah, I've never like been so angry at him, because obviously a couple of seasons ago when we got relegated, like, we had two players and that was it. That's all we had, and it seems to be that it's going to be like that again next season, and we're going to have like one or two players, and then it's going to be a load of academy lads, and the academy lads are great, but some of them are just too young to be in the first team. And I just feel like we need to sell so we can offer these players that we've got incredible contracts. Like Tom White, incredible baller, and he deserves everything that he's getting with Morecambe. But if we can't keep him next season, I think he'll go to a bigger team because he deserves it. And it's hard when you've got players that you love that are possibly going to leave because you can't afford to pay them because of an owner that won't sell up. It's so frustrating, and he just doesn't seem to get the gist of it.
I suppose the thing is as well, like, doing those protests, like, he doesn't even fucking bother going. So, I mean, there's probably no point in doing anything more than what you're doing. And like you say, you don't want to harm the club. How do you get the message across if someone is literally just ignoring everybody and everything? Like,
that's it. It's so frustrating because obviously he's not bothered. He won't turn up at market. I mean, he won't dare turn up to the ground. Like, it'd be stupid to turn up. But I just feel like we need to get it out there and try and get media attention on it, because it just seems to be never ending at the minute, and it's just awful.
It's the players I feel really sorry for, to be honest, because the fact is, like you mentioned, about they go into administration, they're going to get deducted 10 points. You mean the 10 points they've earned, you know, is going to take them back down to zero. And what a kick in the bollocks that would be for the players. Thinking they've worked hard to give themselves a fighting chance of staying up in League Two, and that would kill them.
Like, they must be thinking all the time, like, are we going to get paid? Because they've got such a reputation of not paying the wages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are like, have got a right to feel like nervous about it. It's just terrible. He just needs to piss off, and the FA needs to do better. I'm sorry, but the FA needs to take responsibility, because they've allowed that man to buy that football club.
Yeah. That's what really annoys me, that this fit and proper test doesn't seem to work, because how has he been allowed to take over our club and
anything but
run it to the ground, basically? Like, how is that possible?
Is what it is. It's an absolute shambles, and they need to review that, and they need to make sure that people are actually fit and proper.
I think it goes to show as well just how well Derek Adams and the players have done. Like,
Derek Adams is, I don't care how many times he leaves us and comes back, he is one of the most incredible managers. I've never seen a manager that gets so many players together. Like, we were in the Bristol Streets Trophy, and obviously we lost, but he played one of our academy boys, a 16-year-old, against like fully grown adult men, and he proved himself. Like, it's not just about the first team that we bought, it's about the academy that's coming up. Like, some of them are just incredible in that academy, and I think with everything that Derek Adams has to deal with, he's doing an absolutely amazing job at what he's doing. And I just know the way he talks, he knows that we can survive this league, and if we can survive this league, I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah,
I think, to be honest, it's one of those, if they manage to pull it off and stay up, forget whoever wins League Two in that, Derek Adams deserves to be manager of the year. And that's when they never go for managers who are at the bottom. They always go for the one that wins the league. But when you consider everything that he's having to deal with behind the scenes at the moment and the resources he's got, you know, if he does it, I call that a minor miracle, to be honest with you. But we say about obviously like the EFL, you know, testing everything like that. We keep seeing it. It's still happening. You think like it's happened to Morecambe, it's happened to Swindon, it's happened to Reading, it's happened to Leyton Orient. So, you know, it's so many clubs. Wigan Athletics happened to them as well. So many clubs it's happened to, and it's just what's not changing? Why they're not reviewing it? Because they're clearly not doing enough.
The really good thing is that, I mean, well, it's bad in a way that there's never been anybody that they have to answer to, but now there's going to be a body in place. Like, if you have a complaint about like something on the telly, you can go to Ofcom or the Ombudsman or whatever, and there's going to be that regulator being put in place.
They need an independent regulator.
Yeah, you just have to hope that they force through a review of it, because it's just not okay. Like, we always say football's a game, and at the end of the day it is, but the other bits around that football, like, they're a livelihood for a lot of people. It's sometimes like the football clubs are like, going to a football match is the only fun thing that some people will get in that week. Even if your team lose, sometimes it's about getting amongst people that you want in the same of. Like, it's not fair on all those people that love that club, love any club. Like, it needs to be sorted, and it needs to be sorted 10 years ago.
Yeah, I just think it's so bad. Obviously, like, it's not just a club to people, like, it's your escape from life kind of stuff. So it's like, when you're dealing with this off the pitch, it just makes it 10 times worse. And I know we probably won't win on Saturday. It's Port Vale, the top of the league. Like, it's one of them. But if we can get our like story out there, then that's a win for us, because we need more eyes on it.
But it's not just the players, is it? It's the staff at the club as well. They're affected. It's the businesses around. It's what a successful club can generate with, additional funds coming into the ground, sort of the footfall around, in, all your merch and everything else that goes with it. If your club starts dropping down leagues, then everybody loses a lot. And obviously the fans lose the most. But there's businesses that rely on football clubs. And if a club goes bust or goes into administration, there's probably all those businesses that are owed money that don't get it. And people, that's why a lot of clubs, you'll find that they won't get credit because there's a worry that suppliers won't get paid and they'll want the money up front in a lot of the clubs. I mean, Swindon, there's no money in Swindon. God knows where it goes. But we've gone from gates of 7, 8, 9,000 to less than 5,000 at our last game, and that's a lot of money that you're losing.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
This is where as well a lot. This is where this is what sort of thing that Tracy Crouch will be looking into, because one of our local MPs down there, she's sort of leading the fan-led review of independent regulator at the moment, and these are the sort of things that should be taken into account, because she would have seen. She was part, seeing what happened with obviously the National League with the funding fiasco during COVID, and then obviously now seeing the amount of clubs, in particular in recent years, that have had bad ownerships and everything like that. And this thing, an independent regulator, I think, would really, help it massively, just to have that extra governing body in place, because if we can't keep relying on the FA and the EFL and the governing bodies everywhere else in England, because it clearly shows it's clearly not working. Something's fundamentally wrong at the moment, and this may well change it. You never know. That's the thing. You can't knock it before you've even tried it. That's the thing. So I'm hoping it comes in sooner rather than later, because otherwise this is just going to keep on happening, and we're going to be in danger of losing more clubs. Historic clubs as well that are over 100 years old. And mean a lot to, let's say, the communities. Of these towns. So. Yeah, it's a sad time at the moment. I know we say it mostly, but I really do hope they get it sorted out. And like I say, all you can do is protest, and hopefully it gets the news out there. But we'll see what happens on Saturday if Sky Sports go over to it. Breaking news: the fans have ran onto the pitch in the centre circle. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
But to be honest, as well, that's what Sky Sports and the big news providers need to start showing. More footage of this stuff, because without Jen being in the chat, and obviously we know through Jen and our group chat and everything like that, the troubles that are going on in Morecambe. Not many people. I don't think it's a widely known thing in football that Morecambe have got this owner who isn't putting any money in, and this team's struggling. I mean, what's going to happen? Say if the club does go in administration or this and what else is going to happen in the sport in terms in town of Morecambe? There's nothing. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's what Sky and BBC and the big broadcasters, instead of talking about Pep Guardiola's lost 3 in a row and all this bollocks. You know what I mean? Let's go to the teams like Morecambe and this and give them the kind of recognition that they deserve as well, because it takes the clubs like Morecambe, like the Swindons, and like every club to make this football league, to make the whole league the best in the world. You know what I mean? And this is because of clubs like Morecambe as well. You know what I mean? It still lets the country thrive and having a wonderful football and community and everything, because we have football teams. You know what I mean? It's not just a one team wonder. You know what I mean? So let's get behind the protest. Obviously, I think we'll all be behind it anyway, and hopefully, the fans do them justice. But why on earth it isn't getting categorized in the media is beyond us. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's what annoys us the most, because obviously we've got our local BBC that do it. We've got, I think we had someone from Sky Sports call. I'm not too sure, I can't remember, but we're trying to get it out there and putting it out on Twitter and stuff, and tagging Talk Sport, Sky Sports, BBC, people like that we need to talk about it, because if they start talking about it, then more people are going to see it and be like, oh, let's have a look what's going on at Morecambe, what's going on down there. But it's just in the inner circle, and no one really knows about it, apart from fans and obviously you guys and stuff like that. So it feels like it's not really getting out there as much as it should be.
But it's a good weekend to do it.
I remember. Sorry, mate. I remember a few years ago now for another podcast I work for, we had Keith Downey, who's the North East football reporter, and Keith Downey historically on Twitter never used to report about Sunderland when we were in League One, like never. And he used to say that because Sky Sports are that interested in the Premier League, he has to fight like tooth and nail just to get Sunderland kind of, a little bit of notoriety in the Football League. And it's turned into like a long-standing thing where Sunderland fans think he's a mag. He's not, he's spot art. But I think that's also the term with Sky Sports News and the bigger like kind of news stations, that if it's not the Premier League, they don't seem to give a shit, which I think is completely wrong.
Yeah.
But this weekend's a good one because there's no Prem games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's why they decided to do it this weekend, because obviously there'll be more eyes on the lower leagues, because obviously there's no Premier League this weekend. So I think and it's against like a top team as well. So it's like it would have been good to be on TV and do it, but
that was going to be my next question. Is it on telly?
On TV, but I think if we get it out there and people are obviously going to be recording and taking photos and stuff like that, and the Port Vale fans will probably do some bits as well. So I think just getting it out there this weekend is what we need to do, and hopefully it does something, and the club can get back to normal as soon as possible.
Fingers crossed.
Please let us know if there's anything we can do or if there's anything we can share. Obviously, I'll clip this as well. We'll put it out, even if it's one of them special episodes Sam does, the clips, we'll put that out. But just one thing I want to say, Jen, is don't give up, because it's like when Rochdale were going through them things, and as much as people were trying to promote it, we felt exactly the same. And just keep using your voice on these platforms, because it's surprising who actually does see it. And honestly, I spoke about it every single week, getting it out there, and like I said, it's surprising. So just don't give up.
No, never. Honestly, I love this club too much that I can't. I won't give up ever. Once we get that new one, we can all go out and have a party and get absolutely
party at Markham.
I think it tends to show as well, though, the people that are in the surrounding areas and stuff like that. If you are listening to this podcast and you're not doing anything on Saturday, go to this protest and, protest for all the Morecambe fans and for the local community as well, because the local community needs his football team. It's like I say, it's a small town and, in northern Britain, you know what I mean? It needs its football team. The fans need the football team. So, if you're not doing anything, or even if, you're listening to this and you want to go along, I'm sure we'll put it on where you can go this, that and the other, but go and help out. Even if you just stand outside the stadium, just help out, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I would love to come down, but I'm otherwise engaged on Saturday. I would love to have come down, you know what I mean? But if you can and you live local, get it done, you know what I mean? Support the football club.
Yeah.
Even if you're a fan and you haven't been for a while and you're against the ownership, that's fair enough, you know what I mean? I stopped going to watch Sunderland because I was against the ownership a few years ago, you know what I mean? We got rid of him, you know what I mean? But I stopped going. And, even if you have stopped going, go outside the ground and just take part in the protest. You don't have to watch the game.
No, definitely not. Because I think they're going to the pub first, and then from the pub we're marching down towards the ground. So even if you don't want to go in and watch the game, then you're more than welcome to go and march with all of us that are going. It's not just turn up at the ground. It's a full day experience that's going to be happening, and I really just hope it gets the word out there and it can be sorted as soon as possible.
100%.
Even as well, if there's anybody in the chat who have any contacts, even if it's not local to Morecambe, any journalists, anything like that, just tag them in tweets, just keep spreading the word out. And obviously, if you see any of Jen's tweets or Morecambe's tweets, just keep resharing them, because honestly, as I keep saying, it's so surprising who does come across them. Really is surprising. But yes, League Two. League Two. Do you know what? Uncle Nick, League Two, any standouts for you on here?
Yeah, obviously Morecambe was a very good away win. There's nothing, like you say, nothing better than a last minute winner. Accrington, which isn't good for us, but we thought we did well winning in the FA Cup, but 3-0 away from home. You can't knock that. And I guess Fleetwood, who've been struggling, beating Bradford City. That's some decent results there. And unfortunately, we got beat.
In the chat as well, just on the Fleetwood one, we obviously do have Dietrich. She has put, not a good week for us, losing 1-0 after conceding a penalty in the 8th minute. Fleetwood haven't won in over a month and managed to take all 3 points. Unfortunately, it wasn't our day, but on to Saturday. I love her so much. She's just so positive, isn't she? I say it every week, but I love her.
I know.
Let's get Deirdre on the podcast.
Come and be a team member.
Yeah, come on, you can do it.
she's put as well. We now have had back-to-back defeats in the league and hopefully a turning point soon. And she's also put, on a positive note though, we have a couple of players which are due back after being out injured for a while, including Anthony Sarcevic, which will be a boost for us.
Anthony Sarcevic is such a good player for League 2 level, and he definitely will be a boost.
Has anybody got, before we move on, any other standouts? I mean, for me, I think that was a good win for Gillingham, obviously against Port Vale.
Yeah.
Can't really say otherwise, can we?
Carlisle beating Salford as well as Carlisle.
Yeah, that was
Carlisle
Yeah.
have been playing.
I mean,
Grimsby as well. Grimsby is a good win away at Wimbledon. Wimbledon have been doing well. Grimsby have been struggling as well, haven't they?
Yeah. I think the big two was obviously Morecambe and Aki, like Jen and Becky in the chat, and we and over the moon for Aberdeen and obviously the Morecambe one. Last minute winner. You can't beat a last minute winner.
No.
There's nothing better in life than a last minute winner.
100%.
So the League 2 table. So at the top, we do have Port Vale. Despite losing against Gillingham, they are still top on 30 points. Walsall are second on 27 points. Notts County are third, also on 27 points. Doncaster Rovers are fourth, also on 27 points. And then we have Crewe Alexandra in fifth on 25 points. Milton Keynes Dons are sixth on 24 points. And Grimsby Town are seventh on 24 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Carlisle United in 23rd on 11 points. And Morecambe putting up a good fight, though. We are putting up a good fight on 10 points. Stay positive, Jen.
Always.
Gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And Uncle Nick.
I did not realise Grimsby have come up there from nowhere, haven't they?
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it a few weeks ago, hadn't we? That they've gone under the radar a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that goal
They're in
difference.
Walsall, I think.
Do you know what, Ben? I'm gonna be nice now. I'm gonna save National League till the end. I'm gonna let you go first.
Crack it. Of course.
I'm gonna be nice. What should we do? Do you want to talk Maidstone first, or do you want to talk some other fixtures?
No, let's talk Maidstone. Why not? Unfortunately, and your adopted team didn't turn up last week against us, so
typical.
No, it was a good win for us. We sort of needed that, really. Clean sheet, 1-0, can't beat that, to be honest. Scored our goal fairly early on. Ben Brooks, lovely corner again. Temi Aweka with a header off the inside the post. To be honest, I was a bit surprised about Hornchurch. I don't think they really threatened us at all. They had one shot tipped over the bar. Apart from that, didn't really cause us any issues, to be honest. I mean, I think the scoreline doesn't really tell the whole story. I think we should have won the game by about 3 or 4 goals, missed some really easy chances. And I don't want to have a moan about officials again for the 3rd week running, but unfortunately, we were let down by a couple of decisions because not long after we scored our opening goal, we should have had another one, which was wrongly disallowed for offside. None of our players were anywhere near offside in an absolute melee in the box. I've watched the replay back so many times, and we were all surprised as anyone else. So unfortunately, that got chalked off. And then, unfortunately, Hornchurch should have gone down to 10 men. One of the players put a horrendous high challenge on, one of our players, Charlie Seaman, studs up, sort of gone on his knee, only got away with a yellow card. And it was just a bit frustrating one, really, because I think the game would have been more wrapped up, I think, by that point. But I was really pleased. Like I say, we just got to make sure we keep ticking off the wins. And it was frustrating, really, because we won and it only moved us up from 17 to 16. So it almost feels like we've been near down the bottom for quite some time. But then again, a draw on Tuesday sort of helps us move up a table. So it's a really weird league at the moment. But yeah, no, delighted. We needed that just to sort of kick on a little bit, and especially building up to a good point at Dorking. So yeah, continues our unbeaten run at the moment. So no, really pleased.
Rest of Saturday's results. Any standouts for you, Ben?
I mean, to be fair, Dorking got to give their dues, and that reacted to disappointing. Well, I'd say they'd probably be disappointed with the draw against us, but Charlie Carr's hat trick at Chelmsford. That's not. They're going to Chelmsford away is probably one of the hardest grounds to go to in this league. I would say. I don't know why it is, but it's always been made sort of a hostile atmosphere, and I think because it's an athletics track ground. I don't know what it is about it, but they always make it so difficult for teams. So not many teams go there and win 4-0. So they'll be, that's a very good result for them. And our favourite team, Emil Hempstead, unfortunately, they've slided. I think now, I'm pretty sure they're 10 games now without a win, which after then, bear in mind, 10 games ago, they were top of the league. So I think they sit into the bottom half now. So a few of their supporters are calling for manager Bobby Wilkinson to go, which, is madness, really, because they were punching well above their weight, they were. So, yeah, but Hampton, 4-0 victory for them, and they've started to come together a little bit. So yeah, no, that's a great result for them. So yeah, probably the two outstanding results, and again, probably a good point for Tunbridge away to Torquay as well. I would probably say they'll be delighted with that one. I think anyone would expect that one.
Tuesday. Do you want to talk Maidstone again? Get it out of the way.
Oh, it was a long day.
We left
the stadium at 11:30 in the morning. I did not get home till 20 to 4 in the morning. It was a very long day. I didn't get any sleep at all, really, on the coast. I don't know how our lads have got so much energy at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to keep shouting and all that sort of. I'm like, go to some people got to work in the morning. I think had I been offered a point before the night started, I probably would have taken it. Torquay's, albeit we've got really good record against them. I think we've beaten 9 of the last 10 times we played them. But I felt like a Tuesday night away from home, long journey for the players. I thought it might have been maybe a step too far for us. I thought we might get done maybe 2 or 3-0. And first 20-25 minutes, I think we could tell that we were a little bit leggy. We couldn't keep hold of the ball at all. There was no composure. I kept panicking. We just kept lifting it. The conditions were a bit difficult as well. I think it was quite windy. But to be fair, as bad as obviously we were in that first sort of half an hour, Torquay were no much better either. They had a good chance. I think it was Finn Tonks could strike across our goal. It's terrific save from Alexis Andre Judas to tip over the bar. But yeah, we sort of hoping we could get to 0-0 half time, but then an absolute moment of brilliance from Charlie Seaman. We had this stat, I think, in our commentary team that we hadn't scored a free kick in a competitive game for 4 years. And the last player that scored it was Charlie Seaman when we last had him. Bearing in mind he'd gone back to Doncaster and come back. Charlie Seaman's now gone and scored the latest free kick. So, and I was saying to him on the bus back, I was like, why have you not been on free kicks this season? Honestly, because we know he can strike one. That's the thing. And it's a cracking strike. I think it's about a good 25, 30 yards out. Right, dip over the wall inside the post and in. It was a cracking goal because I was right behind it as well from my angle. It was a superb free kick. So 1-0 was better than we could have hoped for, to be honest, at that stage of the night. Second half, I thought we dug in really deep. Players worked really hard all over the pitch. I think it was more to try and frustrate Torquay more than anything. But unfortunately, though, the Gaffer's changes sort of killed us a little bit. We made 4 changes. And 3 of them really let us down, to be honest with you, and sort of all sort of contributed in our sort of downfall. We bring on Harry Lodovica for Anthony Papadopoulos because he was on a yellow card. So obviously we wanted to bring him on to make sure we didn't go down to 10 men. In the first 2 minutes of him coming on, first thing he did was slip over. When the ball got dragged past him, and then about 30 seconds later, he ended up getting booked for kicking the ball away. So. George made a bold choice he did and brought him off 10 minutes later for the second evening game in a row, which he was obviously disappointed about, but at the same time he's let the team down, because he's put us in an awkward situation because Torquay were trying to get him sent off. They were very clever about it, and I said to the gaffer after saying, you made a bold decision because he was 1 foul away from getting sent off, so he needed to do it. And then unfortunately 2 of our other subs that came on, Bivish Gurung gave away a free kick. and then which has obviously led to their equalising goal. Sam Smith, another of our substitutes, lost his man. The fellas headed it down. And to be fair, it is partly a goalkeeper error as well. Alexis Tundra Jr., I've watched it back so many times. I really don't know what happened, whether he slipped over or not. He's almost dived past the ball, and it just almost like it was slow motion, the way the goal went in. It was so disappointing because it was 5 minutes from time. It would have been a fantastic 3 points for us away from home. And, the gaffer was furious, to be honest, with the substitutes because, he felt really sorry for the players that started because they've worked so hard over the 85 minutes. And you've got 2 or 3 players that are begging to come on. They want to be involved in that. And you think they're knocking on his door, think I should be started. How are you going to be starting if you can't defend your box for 10, 15 minutes? They brought on to do a job and they couldn't do it. So, yeah, by means, I'm not surprised the lads felt let down. So, I'll be interested to see how we sort of go about our bench of the weekend, to be honest, because, those 11 players beforehand were doing a fantastic job they were. And to be honest, the gaffer might have to take some blame of it as well because I think we didn't really need to change anything. I thought we were okay. Maybe 90th minute brought on some people, but I thought we were just a little bit disappointed with the changes and we've sat back a little bit and it's killed us. But, at the same time, Torquay, a good side, they are unbeaten at home this season and bear in mind, we're still unbeaten away from home. So it's not a bad result away from home. We would have taken that start. A chance that we would have missed a chance to go into the top half of the table for the first time in God knows how long. So. We'll take the point and move on to FA Trophy on Saturday, which we look forward to.
A bloody FA Trophy. I don't miss that.
We got a nice little trip to Horsham, so we're looking forward to it.
I spoke to a North Ferriby fan when they won it, and he wasn't just a fan, he did a lot of work for the club. And he told me that they won, bear in mind they won, because of the fee of playing at Wembley and all that. And because they had such a really small fan base, they didn't sell that many tickets. They actually only made £2,000 of profit for winning that competition.
Yeah, the money's not there in the FA Trophy at all.
Crap.
It is. That's the thing, because you're probably paying more. I think it's the same with the FA Vase as well, actually, because I know, one of the clubs, actually, no, to be fair, actually, it was the FA Trophy, actually, because someone I know that worked down at Hive Town last season, they ended up playing Chorley. And, they probably spent more money on because of the distance and that, they had to pay for Chorley's accommodation, which, bearing in mind, obviously, was a good couple of grand. You think all the money they would have made in a day basically made nothing. So I think the FA really needs to do a lot better with the prize money for those clubs because it's all good putting it into the FA Cup, but FA Trophy is for some of the small clubs, is massive to them. And some clubs, very low down have done really well in the FA Trophy in recent years. Look at Hornchurch when they won it a few years ago. Don't get me wrong, they would have absolutely loved every second of it, but you can't tell me they made a lot of money out of that run. Maybe apart from when they got to Wembley, but other than that, they wouldn't have made anything. I know it was during COVID anyway, but still, money wouldn't have been there for them.
100%, mate. I agree with you.
In the chat as well, Chris has asked, is that the longest journey you have this season?
No, we've still got to go Truro next month, which, by the way, I am not going to. I am not going to Truro. 2 weeks before Christmas. Well, it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and I can't fork out 150 quid for a hotel down there because the club aren't going to pay me to do that. So,
is it on a weekday as well, a weeknight?
No, it's on a Saturday. But the thing is, though, it's 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm not forking out 150 quid.
The club should be paying your expenses to.
No, they won't do that.
Do that
I don't want to say too much just in case it gets me in trouble, to be honest with you. But the trouble as a volunteer, I'd like to think I would have, that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's like, if it was August, September, I wouldn't have minded. But because it's 2 weeks before Christmas, I'm like, I'm not going to fork out that money to go for a hotel.
I'm more concerned that Truro hotels are charging 150 quid. It's a bloody
well, I don't know if it is that at all, but the trouble is it for the whole weekend and everything like that.
Yeah, it's 50 quid for the hotel and 100 quid on drink.
Yeah. Last time we did Truro away, they absolutely loved it. The amount of videos I saw in that, I'm thinking I must have missed a weekend down there. No, when we played Truro before, when they last had their away game down there, because it was a good 7-8 years ago. We last played them in their actual town, because obviously they've been ground sharing, ever since. So I think our supporters love a weekend down in Truro. But I think I wouldn't be able to do it in the day because that's a 5-hour, 6-hour journey there and back. I couldn't drive that in the day, so I'm going to give that one a miss, to be honest with you.
We had a few more games, obviously, midweek. Any standouts, Ben? I mean, MLM said lost again.
They did, yeah. Western-super-Mare, they are firing at the moment. They're in blistering form. I don't know whether Scott Bartlett has delivered it, so well for them. I mean, no one expects them to be where they are at the start of the season. I might have thought they'd been around near the playoffs, but they are certainly having the time of their lives at the moment. But getting a big win for Slough against Dorking as well. That's a probably 3 points dropped, I would say, for Dorking. I'm sure Mark White would see it like that, because just when you think you're getting back in form after a great win at Chelmsford, you drop back down to earth against Slough. But it just sort of keeps the playoff pack very close together again. They would have been quite disappointed. But then again, probably a big surprise actually is Bournemouth beating Truro, because Truro have been no mug so far. They're sitting second at the moment. So Luke Garrard needed that sort of win, and that will give him a real boost to really get back in that sort of promotion contention, really, because they've been slipping a little bit in recent weeks. But that win will give them a lot of confidence they need.
Sorry, that chat, Ben, it's just completely thrown me off. So, the National League South table. So, top of the table, we have Western-super-Mare on 34 points. Truro City a second on 31 points. Eastbourne a third on 31 points. Fourth place, we have Torquay United on 30 points. Farnborough a fifth on 30 points. Dorking Wanderers are 6th on 29 points, and Slough Town are 7th on 28 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have St Albans City, who are 21st on 12 points, Weymouth are 22nd on 12 points, Averley are 23rd on 11 points, and Enfield Town are 24th, bottom of National League South on 10 points. Bear with me a second while I go to the north. If I can find you. National League North. So, any standouts for anyone on here? I mean, Hereford got back to winning ways, didn't they? We jinxed them the last few weeks, but they were back to winning ways on Saturday with a great win over Marine, 4-0.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say a couple of bad results at home recently, and Marine, who suddenly picked up a couple of decent results recently, that's a bit of a comeback down to earth for them, really. But yeah, no, they've been delighted. But again, we're talking about Scunthorpe again, who are meant to be the runaway leaders of that league, and they've lost again, and at home to Buxton. But then again,
a good win for Buxton.
That's the thing, but they're flying at the moment. I mean, I know they've gone sort of full time this year, but they're absolutely probably way above expectation of that league, because if they could be in and around that type, there's no reason why they can't be the dark horse to go up. And I think, to be fair, actually, that defeat now knocks Scunthorpe off the top of the table now, or what he has done in the last couple of weeks. So they're in a bit of a rut at the moment and need to find a way out, because, to be honest, I think it'd be a big embarrassment to them if they don't go up automatically this year, especially after playoff heartbreak last year. And the amount of resources they've got compared to every other club in that league, they should be winning that league comfortably. But I've always said it's such a tough league to get out of the north. I always find that compared to the south. So yeah, they've got to find a way of winning again somehow. Otherwise, it could well be slipping outside the playoffs. You just never know.
Can we just speak about Radcliffe as well? I mean, 3-1 win. They're starting to pick up the points, aren't they?
Yeah, they're surprising though, because they still left them in the relegation zone. That's the thing. I mean, it seems like in the last few weeks we've just been talking about them winning. So, it just shows how far down they were. But massive credit to the man there. They've really turned that around there. And I did say that if they can keep on, because they do find a way of getting results. Whether they do have tough methods at that football club. They do, John O'Bernard, but they you know what, you've got to give them their dues, because it's not a situation they get put into too often. They're always up, challenging for promotion, and this would have been a new challenge to them. But absolutely fair play to them, because that's a big win over a side that are down the bottom with them. They really needed that, so no, fair play to them.
100%. The real big shame this week.
Oh,
such a shame.
where did she go? Oh, she's back again.
I was just going to say what a massive shame it is this week that that Chris can't have his say because we don't discuss 0-0s.
That is true, Chris. We do not talk about 0-0s on this podcast. So I'm really sorry. I cannot read it out.
To be fair as well, just to kind of like support that, last week I came on to talk about 2 0-0s and never said a thing about them. There you go.
So far, it's been a good month for team up the road from me, Oxford City.
Yes.
2 draws and a win, and they seem to be scoring a lot of late goals. A 95th minute equaliser against Scarborough. So again, it's always nice to get a late goal. And I was just looking at, obviously, previously against Hereford, they got 88th and 93rd minute goals. So,
Still, the Oxford are in the north.
Sorry?
Just makes me laugh that Oxford are in the north.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, it must be costing them an absolute fortune.
It's left them out the bottom 4, to be fair, like that draw. So they needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really bad now, to be fair. I'm going to have to read it out, aren't I? So Chris has put Curzon at home, another game where it was each team just cancelling each other out, both sides having decent chances in each half, and both goalkeepers pulled off a couple of lovely saves to keep it level at 0-0. And that's how it finished. That was it. That was it. And we will get on now. We'll get on now to Tuesday's fixtures. So, I mean, Kidderminster 4, South Shields 0. That was obviously very good result for Kidderminster. Brackley, your favourite team, Claire, got another win. 2-0 against Buxton. Obviously, Darlington 2, Peterborough Sports 2. And Curzon Ashton, yet again, obviously, picking up the points against Marine.
They return their own hands as well to go top of the league. So one, with the game in Hanover, surely. Again, that's the one that no one probably expected to start. So I don't know what their resources are like at the moment, because they've always sort of been mid-table side in that division. I don't know what's changed this year for them. I mean, Chris may know. Curzon Ashton. So
they've got a lot of money.
They haven't. They have. They must. But again, the same thing with Western Supermare, though. Don't know whether it's just a case of, they've just shown no fear going into that league. Because that's the thing. When you look at all the big sides in there are full time, they've already got a hell of a lot of money. I don't think anyone would have banked on Curzon Ashton to be that. And if they can get at least a playoff place, what an achievement that would be for that.
I've got to give them a bit of credit that Curzon Ashton, even when we were in the north, they were a well-run football club. They only had a small amount of fans and they were struggling to grow the fan base, but they always got together a really decent team that could perform. Like, they had Sam Walker, they had some really, really good players, and it doesn't surprise me that they're up there, because the more they're in that league, the more they kept pushing. So it doesn't surprise me at all. Fair play to them.
So, the National League North table, top of the table, we have Chorley on 32 points, Kidderminster a second on 31 points, Curzon Ashton a third on 30 points, Scunthorpe United are fourth on 29 points, Buxton a fifth on 28 points, Hereford a sixth on 27 points, Brackley Town, your favourite, Claire, are seventh on 27 points. And then in the relegation zone, Radcliffe are 21st, but they are picking up points, to be fair to them. They're not adrift anymore, only a point behind. They obviously have 17 points. Marine are 22nd on 13 points. Needham Market Ann are 23rd on 12 points. And Rushall Olympic are bottom of the National League North on 11 points. And then let's quickly get to the National League. So, any standouts for anyone? Anne, I'll come to you first. Any standouts in the National League?
Oh, it was a canning game at York, wasn't it? 5-3.
Very good.
Where's Fylde? How did Fylde get on? Yes, Fylde beating Gateshead 3-0. That's my standard. And this is nothing against Luke. I'm sorry, it is nothing against Luke. at all. It's just, I look out for Fyle now that
of
Kevin Phillips is the manager, because he's my favourite footballer of all time. So, yeah, them doing that. But probably we've got to mention Dale, haven't we? 2-1, good win over Sutton, gets them back in amongst the playoff candidacy as well. So, yeah, well done to Dale. But, that York game, that sounds like a crack. I don't know, 5-3.
Definitely got the money's worth, didn't they, them fans from both sides to be there.
Yeah. Remember when York called Booth and Crescent the Kit Kat Crescent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did mention the Gateshead game, so I will go to Luke now with his match report. So he has filed away. We were poor in the first half. Thought we didn't play too badly in the second, but our own individual errors cost us the game to slip away from us. Another loss against Fylde. Not surprised about that at all. That's now 7 years without scoring against Fylde, and another game without a win against Fylde ever. That's definitely a bogey team. And to be fair, we don't win at Fylde either. Then again, the FA Cup, wasn't it? Was it the FA Cup? Yeah, the FA Cup qualifier we did, but in the league we do not. This made me laugh as well for Sam. Me and Sam have an ongoing thing where Manchester United and Rochdale never win on the same weekend. Only one of us is ever happy, and they actually won. They actually both won. So what a shock. Luke has put as well about Gateshead. Small bit of news in the local media about the lease for Gateshead's ground. Apparently, it's close to being taken over by an unnamed operator, so the lease required for the EFL ground ownership rules won't be a problem if Gateshead were to get promoted. So fingers crossed. I'm so happy. So happy for that, to be fair. I like Gateshead. Somebody I did want to say hello to. I mean, it's not very often we get Oldham fans in here. So hello, Chris. Hope you're okay.
From Melbourne.
I know. He's put a happy Friday from Melbourne. Latics fan here. Charlotte, I'm looking forward to the Latics versus Dale game in a week or so. Flat Cap Derby Classic. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm dreading it, to be honest.
What time is it in Melbourne, please, Chris?
I'm just glad we've got a few players back from injury. But he's also said on the Barnet 0, Oldham 0, Latics lucky to get a point at Barnet. First team to take points there this season, though. So that is a positive. And to be fair, Oldham are playing some really good stuff at the minute, and they've signed some really good players. So I'm expecting them to do very, very well, as I've mentioned this season. I'm not looking forward to next week. Definitely not. Any other standouts for anyone? I mean, Wilston won again, didn't they? 2-0. We've got them on Saturday as well, so I'm gutted to picking up the points.
That's a big win for them. But I would have given credit as well to Braintree. I mean, they were 1-0 down at East with 10 minutes to go, and I'm pretty sure it was a last-minute goal they scored down there as well. So that sort of takes them out of the relegation zone. It's like I say, it's very tight around that bottom area at the moment. Like I say, with Wilston beat Aldershot, that sort of cuts the gap down on them as well. I think they're only 3 points off the shots. So yeah, it's getting an intriguing relegation battle. But again, I would have said as well, York, 5 goals, another couple of goals for Ollie Pearce as well. He's adapted to that league superbly, to be fair, since his move from Worthing. And I'm probably going to stamp on it now, actually. I think they're going to win the league. I genuinely think that York will do it. They've just, the football they're playing, the amount of goals they're scoring, as long as they can keep, the key players fit between now and obviously coming the end of the season, I think they may well just do it. But don't get me wrong, they'll be pushed, I think, right to the edge by the likes of, your Forest Greens and Barnets and everything like that. But I think York are the team to do it this year, to be honest, with the position they're in at the moment. So that's more in my prediction now, and they're probably going to slip out the playoffs the next 2 weeks.
Yes, hopefully we'll get it instead.
Well, obviously, I hope you do as well. But at this moment in time, I think just with the amount of goals and the quality of the goals they're scoring as well, actually, York, and that team is just finding a way to win. I think that win at Halifax a few weeks back was a big statement in terms of the fact that they are capable of grinding out the results they need to. Because as we always said, I would rather play, like much earlier in the show, I would much rather play shit football and win games every week, rather than play really well and not win at all. So that's they're York City fans, probably having the earlier though, and having a fantastic time at the moment. So long may that continue for them.
A couple more I just wanted to shout out before, obviously, I speak about Dale. But yeah, as Chris mentioned, Solihull versus Altrincham, a 3-3 draw. I mean, a lot of goals on that one. Regan Linney as well is picking up some form at the minute. I know a few fans in the National League were mentioning that he's not very consistent. And I don't know if he's seen anything or he's kind of come across that. But in recent weeks, he's really picked up his form. And I think they need to realise as well, they have actually lost quite a few decent players, Altrincham this season. So, yeah, I think that's a really good result there against Solihull Moors. One that I did want to mention as well, Yeovil winning again. I mean, we've mentioned it last week, but they're really on a roll at the minute, aren't they, Yeovil? Especially away at Southend, not the easiest ground to go and get a win. So, yeah, happy with that. But
in the playoffs as well now. They're in a good place. I didn't expect it from them. I thought they'd be down near the bottom struggling with that squad. And they've kept a lot of the players from last year in the side that maybe just scraped winning that title last year, which was a very weak National South. So Mark Cooper's delivered somehow. Maybe just the fact that maybe there's not as much pressure on them this year might probably help them, to be fair, compared to some of the bigger sides in that league. But yeah, they'll be just enjoying the ride at the moment because at the end of the day, they are one of the bigger clubs in that league. So they'll be hoping they can be in that place. That should be the aim for them now.
Claire, just a quick question for you. Chris has put, what was the question you asked, Claire? Replayed it, didn't quite catch it. Was it about the time?
Oh, yeah, I was just asking about the time, but someone's answered it anyway. Sorry, absolutely nothing to do with football.
Just wanted another time.
You know what? I'm excited. My cousin, my cousin who was in the Paralympics. So his brother, as he lives in Melbourne, has been supporting Coldplay as the opening act on his tour. Like how many?
Love that.
Just wow. What a talented Jimbo.
Yeah, just on the Dale game, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but yeah, we won 2-1. We should have, to be honest, probably, it's frustrating at the minute. We've obviously got players back, which is obviously a great by us. Luke McNicholas is back in net for us, someone who we really have missed. Devante Rodney was on the bench. We've got key players coming back like, who is it? Someone else getting back. I can't remember. But anyway, we've got key players coming back anyway. Bad news is Cairo Mitchell's now injured. But it's only a minor injury, and apparently he will be back for the Oldham game. But Devante Rodney's back. Don't worry. So we absolutely controlled the game yet again. Went 1-0 up. Ryan East, my favourite. Love Ryan East. A very good header from him. Went quite early into the game. Went 1-0 up. Sutton obviously scored. I don't want to say he got back into the game. They obviously got back into it with the goal, but we were never really like in doubt or feared by Sutton. They were quite, I feel quite bad, but they didn't really get into second gear, Sutton. They were quite it's a hard one to explain, but they didn't really get into it. We were never like under any pressure by them. We just couldn't score. We had chances. A couple of things I did want to mention with Sutton is one of their guys, I can't remember what he's called, he actually got stretchered off, so I hope he's okay. And they did pick up a couple of injuries from other players, so I really do hope they recover soon, because obviously they weren't playing that great anyway, and with injuries as well, it's not nice to see. But yeah, we just was one of them where we just couldn't score. Devante Rodney then came on, and then 90+3, he scored. He scored 90+3. He is back. I'm just hoping that obviously it can have a bit of a run now without any injuries or health issues, because I feel like I come on and I'm bigging him up and saying, yes, Devante Rodney is on a roll, and then something happens to him, which is obviously quite frustrating for him. But yeah, good 3 points. But then obviously we had that little bit of a moment this week where, was Jim McNulty going? Was Jim McNulty staying? Because he has been linked with Burton Albion. I came on the podcast last week and kind of had a little bit of a joke about it, like, oh no, Jim's been linked with Burton, ha ha ha. Didn't think there were much in it, but there was a lot in it. But yeah, there was that moment where it was obviously linked with moving to Burton. A lot of Burton fans were quite happy with that appointment as well. If it was to take off, I think he was just becoming the head coach. I don't think he had really much say in the signings as well. I think they have a director of football there, so he was just there to kind of coach and put his stamp on Burton. But luckily, he hasn't gone. What I do want to say though about our fans is, be careful what you wish for. There's a lot of fans like me who are really happy with Jim McNulty and what he's doing at the minute with the club. It's a 3-year project that him and our new owners have kind of come up with. And in those 3 years, they want to try and get us back to the EFL. They want to try and build our own and progress our own training facilities as well, what we've never had, and invest in a lot of things off the pitch to try and help the club. What I don't like from our fans is the first thing and the first mention of Jim McNulty going to another club and leaving us. There's a little bit of a minority of fans who are like, yeah, I don't believe in Jim McNulty out, blah, 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 I want Pete Wild. Be careful what you wish for, because Jim McNulty, yes, sometimes it's very frustrating, this football. We are going places, though. We are getting better. Yes, the football is frustrating. A lot of this team this season are brand new players. What they don't see with Jim McNulty is he's managed to get players from down south and across the country who we would have never, ever been able to get or attract in previous seasons. If you upset the apple cart, and if Jim McNulty leaves, them players have been promised a project. Them players have been sold by the manager, and every single one have said, I've signed for this club because it's a very big club in the National League, but I respect Jim McNulty and his plans, and he has got a very good plan, and the club have got a very good plan. What I do not like is the fact they're like, oh yeah, get Jim McNulty out and everything will be fine. No, it won't, because them players have trust in Jim McNulty. If Jim McNulty goes, them players might want to go because they've been sold a dream. It's all part of this plan. What I don't like as well is Jim McNulty has come into this football club when we have been rock bottom. It's his first managerial job. He is still learning. And the things he has done already for us, our club, especially last season when we were going through all them troubles, we just missed out on playoffs. But they want Jim McNulty out, some of them. I don't get it. I really do not get it. And as much as I would love, if Jim McNulty did go, it would have been absolutely great. He could flourish. I don't think it was the right time and the right appointment for him to go to Burton. I think he's still learning as well. He's still progressing. And I think if he went to Burton and didn't get it right, maybe he wouldn't then get like a dream job or another job, you know, within the football pyramid. It might have gone down. It might have been lower. I think with us, he can really build on something and flourish. And even if he does then, like in a couple of years, go to another team, maybe that'll be the right time. I just don't get where our fans think we were just going to get rid of Jim McNulty and get Pete Wild from. Because Pete Wild has been linked with several EFL clubs. Yeah, he's local, but at the same time, he's got links to Oldham. And I just don't get it. And the disrespect of some of our fans for Jim McNulty and what I've seen on social media, and I'm going to admit it is only a minority, but we really need to chill out, because I just think be careful what you wish for. The last few appointments before Jim didn't go to plan. We are now stable. We're winning games. We're building on something. A lot of our players are under 2-year contracts as well. Just be careful what you wish for, because it gets me so mad. Like, I would have been happy for him if he did go to Burton, because obviously it's 2 leagues above. I don't think it was the right time for him, to be honest. I would have been happy for the guy. He's got a family. But our fans can just be so disrespectful, and it really annoys me. And what annoyed me as well is there's a minority of them who were making up rumours and said Jim McNulty you knew he was leaving, he didn't go and clap the fans at the end of the game. Lies. There's video evidence on YouTube of this cam thing that we do, and it's every game. And what we do, it's like a bit of a vlog, as you say it, from the side of the pitch, like pitch cam, and it shows him going to every stand clapping the players. I was one of the last ones out of that ground on Saturday. Jim McNulty went to every stand. So I'm just sick of people making up rumours and putting dirt on Jim McNulty's name, to be honest, because what a guy. I love him.
Lies.
Sorry, I needed a rant. I wanted a rant because it's so frustrating now, because I feel like, and it's because these fans have been spoiled under Keith Hill. They've been absolutely spoiled, and I know we've been through the mud and back in recent years, and they want to go back to the EFL. I want to go back to the EFL. But why are we doing this to Jim McNulty? If he left, I'm not being funny, it doesn't mean our players would be happy. A new manager might have come in, and they've all come because of Jim McNulty and his plan. So I just want some more respect put on his name, because what he's done for us is honestly the way he's transformed Dale and got us back, and the connection we have now with the staff, with the players, with the manager. We've not had that in a very long time, and that's all thanks to him. So, and I hope he's watching. I hope he's watching. I love Jim, and it really annoys me.
I think the thing is as well, he leaves, the new manager comes in, even if the players are fine to stay. Let's be honest, some players would go with him because that always happens.
Yeah.
You have to think, every manager's got a different style of play. Not every manager suits a certain manager's style, so there's nothing to say that it would work. I think, obviously, if Jim had took that, and obviously you'd have been happy for him but disappointed, maybe then be like, oh yeah, we've not got a manager. Pete Wiles available, is local. Let's hope that we can sort that out. But that's not the case. Jim McNulty doesn't think it's the right time to go to Burton, and it doesn't make sense anyway, because you could be in the same league next season.
Yeah.
But I just think you're right. Just be careful what you wish for. And clearly, Jim is doing a very, very good job at Argyle.
He is.
Apparently, Stephen Schumacher's getting the Burton job, and that's a real coup for Burton if they do get him.
Really?
That's a good manager.
They've got money, though, haven't they? They've got money.
Yeah, he did well to get Plymouth up, didn't he? After Ryan Law left. So yeah, it's good for them. But yeah, good for Jim staying. I agree with Claire. It's too much of a risk for him, isn't it? You look at 100%. Mike Williamson leaving Gateshead to go to Crawley. That's not guaranteed. You know what I mean? And the last thing you want is you're playing. You've gone there, you see it, and he doesn't do well at Burton, and see 3 months' time he's maybe 1 in 12 or whatever, which could happen. And they sack him, and he's got nowhere to go. I think. And whereas at Rochdale, he's liked, he's respected, isn't he? And he's doing well. And I agree with you. I think the fans should maybe just give him a bit of slack, because I think he's doing a cracking job, to be honest.
I feel like some of our fans are becoming really entitled, and I just think to myself, just go back to last season when we had these troubles off the pitch. We just missed out on playoffs. And the style of play that we're playing, the playing out from the back, I come on here and I've ranted and said there are our own mistakes, our own individual errors. But apart from Ian Henderson and Ethan Ebanks-Landell, you look at the ages, and Devante Rodney as well, look at the ages of all them players. They're all very young, up-and-coming players who have signed 2-year contracts. Yes, we do have a couple of loans, but Luke McNicholas, before he got injured, we conceded 3 goals. 3 goals. We had the best defence in that league. The best defence, obviously. Recent times, we've had David Robson come in, the other keeper that we have. And I feel like with him, I do like him, but I feel like with Luke McNicholas, he's just a bit more calmer, he's more commanding, and he's got used to the back line and the players a lot more. Yeah. So we kind of trust him that bit more. But 3 goals we conceded before he got injured. Devante Rodney's been injured again. Our captain's injured. Like, cut him some slack.
Yeah. Plus, as well, you look at like the goalkeeping situation. Like, a lot of teams are looking to do that. You know, to play out from the back stuff, and we can argue about it till we're blue in the face, to be honest, because I don't think it suits loads of that. But if you've got a goalkeeper who is obviously your number one, who then gets injured, and then another lad comes in, and they still play that style, but if he's not a very good footballer, you know what I mean? He might be a very good goalkeeper, but not all goalkeepers are good footballers. You look at Nick Pope in the Premier League at the minute, plays Newcastle. Fantastic goalkeeper, one of the best shot stoppers in the league. Cannot kick a ball to save his life. Can't do it. You know, so Newcastle don't play off on the back. They play a direct style. So, like, with Dale doing that, without changing the style, it's obviously going to have issues, because he's obviously not as good at the ball of his feet than Nicholas, your goalkeeper you've got as number one.
One thing before I finish as well, one thing I want to say as well about Jim McNulty is every single one of these players put on that shirt and they perform, they never give up, and they play for Jim McNulty. And that has not happened in a very long time at our club, apart from when he's managed. And I want to give him credit for that. And that's why I think some of these fans who were saying, oh, I don't care, I'd drive him to Burton. You need to be careful, because we could, if we lost him, even if we did get Pete Wild's a great manager. We don't know what would have happened. Like, he's a fantastic manager, but I don't think we would have got him. I'm sorry. And we would have gone down the route of maybe getting the cheaper option, maybe from National League North or South, getting someone below. And I think with Jim McNulty, he knows the club inside out. He knows that club inside out. He's been there for 10 years. He cares for us. You know, when you've got him there, he cares about everybody in that club, whether it be the staff, whether it be the fan, whether it be someone just like working like the caretaker or something. He knows them. He's been there that long. So just put some more respect on his name, because I'm sick of seeing it on social media. I'm sick of it.
I know, Charles.
That's my rant. Thanks.
Charles.
Honestly, I love him.
You feel better though. You feel a lot better now, don't you? After that,
yeah,
once you get her off your chest.
We don't need rants anymore. We need Charles rants now every week.
You watch it now. We'll get beat 1-0 off Wealdstone. Be playing out from the back. Luke McNicholas own goal, and I'll be like, right, Jim, it's a good job we've got a week off next week. I'm joking. But yeah, that's my rant over. I'm sorry about that. I just needed to get it out of my system. That's why I left it till the end of the podcast. Yeah, Shah's rants now. But yeah. I agree. This is from an Oldham fan. They have done really well since their old ownership issues were sorted. Fair play to our rivals. Thank you. And that's from an Oldham fan.
Mm. You're right. I think it's just entitlement. It's being the Man City of the non-league, and that's the bother.
Exactly. A lot of these fans, though. Yeah.
You're right, though, when you think, you've got a lot of stuff. That's what happened last year. I mean, it's the same with a lot of football clubs, isn't it? I mean, you look at mentioned like Stockport, if they'd lost a couple of games, you get the odd final goal. Well, what's going on here? In the 6th in the table. We've got fans who are like, "Oh, our season's over now. We've 3 games." I mean, it's just a lot of fans just go a bit too over the top, I think, and it just.
But at the same time, football is an emotional sport.
Yeah.
I don't even mean like I just mean like it's hard sometimes to keep on track of your emotions, and I think it's okay for people to have a different point of view.
I totally agree.
You do have to
when you're putting on social media Jim McNumpty when we're 6th in the league, though, and saying I'd drive him to Burton myself, I think that's a bit too far. Especially someone who's dedicated 10 years of his life playing for the club.
I agree with everything you said. I just think there's a way of going about your opinion as well. 100%. And that's opinion. That's just a witch hunt.
Yeah. 100%. And sometimes as well, like people are, I normally have quite a reserved and judged opinion. That's why you never kind of see straight after the game. I'm never on Twitter, you know what I mean? Because I just have especially if we've lost, I'll have a couple of hours just to digest and stuff, and I'll put something on. But you do get sometimes when the game's finished, you probably went to the local and had a couple of beers or whatever, and straight away you just go bam, you know what I mean? And then probably when look at it and that's probably not right, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah, fans
What?
But yeah, feel better now.
What did you say, Ben?
No, I think most of us have done that before. We've been, got very emotional after a game. We just tweet something. We might go, oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't have said that. We've all done it because we care. That's because we care so much about our clubs. That's the thing at the end of the day. But like I say, I think there's always going. I'm a bit like Can. I normally try and digest it for a couple of hours, actually really think about what happened. If I still feel the same, then I'll say I'll voice my opinion. But at the end of the day, you've got to just give it a bit slack because you can get very emotional 10, 15 minutes after a game. And it's like, say, same for players, managers and supporters. So give yourself a couple of hours and then you feel all right after that. I think that's absolutely madness. To stick to the league. I will quite happily swap with you, Charles, to be honest, our league position for yours at the moment because at least you're in a good position of being in the playoff. That's what I would love to be at the moment. But, I just think, like I said, sometimes just feel so entitled. You think this time last year, you nearly didn't have a club. No,
exactly. That's why I think I'm more annoyed. That's why I think I'm more annoyed.
People, eh? And it's come back. Someone said it recently, and I agree wholeheartedly. Every single football fan is fickle to a point. Every one of us.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes keep your fickleness in check.
Yeah. But yeah, I think now I feel better now. I've got it out my system.
It's the same fans who were setting fireworks off on the 14th of November.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of the football talk. But there's one more thing that I have to do. I thought I'd save it till the end, but we do have a birthday tomorrow. We have a birthday, and as I am the designated Absolute Football Podcast birthday singer, Claire, give me a countdown.
4. Don't know what's that.
4.
3, 2, 1, go!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jen. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip.
Hey.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great birthday, Jen.
I'll try.
3 points as well weekend.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Where can everybody find you? And
sorry.
Everyone.
Happy birthday, Jen. Where can everybody find you? Anthony _Waterson on Twitter. Top of the league.
Woo!
For one more week.
Birthday girl Jen, where can everybody find you?
It's Jen Hunt _ on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. I'll try and post some protest stuff on there on Saturday as well. So feel free to share it, retweet it, quote it, whatever you need to do to get the word out.
Our lovely Sam is in the chat as well. So Sam, them short clips that we are doing on YouTube, please I will clip it. Can we have the Markham one uploaded? Because it'd be good for lots of interaction and lots of traction for that because we need it for Jen. Yes. Claire, you look very tired. Where can everybody find you apart from bed soon?
I know. I can't wait to go to bed. You can find me. Where can you find me? I can't remember.
Claire _ Jeffs. Hatters hang out on a Tuesday.
She's not here today. She's gone.
That's correct. I'm so tired, honestly.
Uncle Nick, where can everybody find you apart from doing the worm at the FCAs on Thursday?
I would pay money to see that, Nick.
I would pay money to see it as well. I'm on Twitter, road _Ocus.
Yay. Ben, woo! Where can we find you? I think the coffee's got to me. It's after having that McNulty round. I'm happy now. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. And if anyone wants to catch me, I'm going to be on BBC Radio on Saturday morning to be put ahead of our game. Horsham. It's going to be across sort of Sussex, Surrey, and Kent. So I think it's on about 9:40. So if anyone wants to tune in that, I'll be chatting about our game, upcoming game against Horsham. So
where's that?
Saturday. But yeah, Ben Stone's absolutely won't be one of any of the good stuff on there.
If anybody wants to find me, I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok. I'm on that new app as well. I don't know if anyone's joined it, the one that's supposed to be the new Twitter. So I've kind of got it now, and it's really nice and peaceful. There's no trolls at the moment. So please do it. You'll have a lovely time. Yeah. My Her Game 2 stuff as well is Rochdale HGT. And of course, the main ones. We have an Absolute Football Podcast. On a Monday, we are Absolutely Premier League. On a Wednesday, we are Absolutely Women's Football. On a Thursday, we are Absolutely Lower League, and that's where we cover the EFL Championship, League 1, League 2, the National League, National League North, National League South. They are all on at 8:30. On X, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. But, we will be live on Monday and Wednesday next week, but we will not have a show on the Thursday because we are at the Football Content Awards. I'm pretty sure that they do stream that as well on YouTube, the Content Awards.
Yeah, they do.
So you may have a chance of finding us, probably causing chaos somewhere. If we've not been kicked out. We've not been kicked out.
Hashtag spot AF.
Claire.
Hashtag where's Claire?
Where's Claire?
Where's Claire?
Hashtag spot AFP. Absolute Football Podcast.
But yes, as always, thank you so much to everybody in the chat. We will keep you updated. We will send a link out, obviously, to the FCAs as well, if anybody does want to watch it, if you are missing us. But I hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend, and ta-ta for now.